Alright guys, welcome to the JumpX Performance Coaching Podcast. We're going to learn all about how to jump higher. Today we've got a special guest, Mr. AP, one of my best friends.
What's going on, baby?
Mr. Sports Scientist.
Thank you for having me on board, fellas. Appreciate it.
Perfect. So yeah, we're going to learn a little bit about him, talk some shit today.
That's it, baby.
It's going to be a good one today.
It's going to be a legendary episode. I talked Tom for fucking about 4 to 5 days. I was like, this is going to be one of the best. No, it's going to be the best episode yet. Today. Until you get somebody more goated.
Who is more goated?
AP in a year's time.
AP in about 5 years' time.
Yeah, AP in 5 years' time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
Kang.
Pretty much the conqueror, mate.
Yeah.
tough,
Intellectual PRs.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
Chad PRs, handsome PRs,
Oh.
low-key, like, tape PRs, mate. All kinds of PRs on the board, babe.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Would you say you're more goated than Joe Rogan?
Sorry?
Or
I don't
That's a hot take. That's a hot take.
Bro, fucking...
I know you like the hot takes.
I do love a good hot take, but everyone thinks I listen to Joe Rogan for some reason. Like, everybody. I don't know what it is. Like, apparently I'm obsessed with the guy, but how many people think I listen to the guy? They're like, oh, yeah, you listen to Joe Rogan, eh? I'm like, why Joe Rogan? Why does everyone mention Joe Rogan in front of me? I don't even listen to the guy's
Joe
podcast.
Rogan's the GOAT podcaster. Like,
I don't know. I don't listen to enough podcasts to get enough of sample size.
Who's a more goated podcaster than Joe Rogan?
I would say, I reckon Chris Williamson, if you've listened to Chris.
He's
Modern
more
Wisdom.
goated, bro. He's not more goated.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Oh, okay. He's got a better podcast in my opinion.
take everything
Yeah.
into account.
Yeah.
It's got to be Joe.
It probably is Joe. Probably is.
Yeah.
Probably is.
Yeah.
Maybe this is like the Jordan fucking.
He's like the Michael Jordan.
Jordan.
I mean that
Yeah,
that episode where he had Elon Musk and they were just smoking fucking.
Oh, that's an iconic episode.
I can't believe that's real,
Yeah.
son. How is that real?
It's funny, right?
Simulation broke for like an hour.
The world just like stopped right at that moment for Elon Musk and Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
I didn't even listen to that episode, but I saw the clip and the snippet for like 5 to 8
You
minutes.
didn't. It was really funny.
I heard a lot of great things about the podcast.
Yeah.
I just couldn't be bothered watching the whole thing.
Yeah, true.
Unlike our viewers that listen to the whole thing.
Of course. Yeah.
Anyways,
Dedicated JumpX listeners.
fill the audience in a little bit, about you and.
Yeah, so...
You don't have to tell your whole life story, but.
No. This is one of my biggest issues ever. I go on for like 10 hours with certain topics.
So just tell everyone a little about you and.
Yeah, so I'm Aaron, 25 years old, live here in Perth, got my own business, 360 Functional Movement, training individuals with disabilities. How I met these two, met Austin in primary school, year 5, I remember in primary school. Tom, I met through Austin, I think in about 2021, mid-2021 I'd say.
Yeah.
Would be about accurate, yeah.
Back when he was just a baby.
We're all babies. I
Yeah,
look like a baby.
you were pretty much, it was like during your like demon
Bro,
time
remember
phase.
those screenshots I sent you? Of that one time with like dunking when you were dunking in 2021?
Was that 2021?
Yeah. You look you look like a baby. You look like you're 16.
Yeah. I'll show you a photo after.
Yeah, we'll
Okay,
show you.
okay.
We'll show
It's
you.
a bit.
Maybe
visual confusion, right?
I'll send them to you and then you put them up on the YouTube.
Okay, yeah.
Put them up on the YouTube.
Yeah.
That's it, like a little snippet right
No,
at
what's Joe Rogan's fucking
Jamie.
yeah.
Tom. Tom,
Yeah.
can you pull this up real quick?
Yeah, Tom put it up.
Tom.
Who knows, mate? We could
If we had Hayden,
Joe Rogan, mate.
we need to get Hayden on the lounge, like right there on the laptop, and just calling shit up.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't even know how to technically like do that. Like
is.
what's the like? You know what I mean?
They probably have thousands and thousands of dollars worth of fancy equipment that we just don't know
Yeah.
about at this level.
Yeah, legit.
Goes back to the goat talk.
Yeah, no, somebody has to be filming right here. Oh, hey, what's the snippet? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, guys, so listen, I got this image right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Humble beginnings.
And that's it, mate.
Yeah, right. Let's go on. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, you're good. So I went through double major in exercise and sport and health science as well. Graduated in 2021, so early 2021, March 14th, 2021. It was on a Sunday at RIC Arena. I remember that, but I don't remember what I had for breakfast in the morning, which is pretty bad.
That's right. Just check your Instagram. We're about to see it.
The base shake.
Yeah.
One part of this podcast has to
No,
talk
hold
about
on.
Hold on.
No. You gotta tell everyone why the fuck do you have this base shake in the morning? What's the deal with this base shake?
Okay, so just for context out there, everybody, I post this thing like pretty much once every 2 days or whatever. It's about a base shake. So the base shake, now the reason why I personally do it is just for the sake of getting carbohydrates and micronutrients into my body, and I'm too lazy to split that up throughout the day. That's pretty much the reason why. So
Okay, so you're going like full keto body intermittent fasting marketing strategy on this.
No, that's for
On this.
That's for
this
cups.
base
Not
shake.
peanut body crap. Not Greg Gallagher or whatever his name is.
So you're not going to start claiming it heightens testosterone and all that sort of stuff?
No, not at all. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Why would
Maybe
you-
to make millions.
Yeah, but do I see
Maybe to make millions of dollars, kind of like Liver King, but anyways.
Yeah, but you know, I mean, at some point in the future, I probably will do the clickbait shit, but right now, no.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm very lazy in the mornings as well. Like most mornings when I get up, I just can't be buggered like cooking eggs or anything like that. Although it takes a few minutes to cook eggs, but like usually most of the time I just like split up the egg yolks and everything like that. Now the reason why I personally separate the egg yolks from the egg whites most of the times it's just because sometimes like with the egg whites itself, it has a nutrient in it called avidine, which can actually block out some of the micronutrients from a separate egg yolk itself. And the egg yolk itself, while it doesn't have as much protein in it, in comparison to an entire egg, it gives you a stack of micronutrients. So that's why.
That's a pretty good explanation. I'm just laughing because Tom's looking at you like, bro, I just
learned something.
Bro, yeah, he's like,
yeah.
No, but I thought you'd give it that look like, bro, like I just have a protein shake in the morning, like.
Yeah, like what? Yeah.
And I think a lot of people make the assumption that it would taste disgusting, but it actually tastes absolutely delicious to have.
No. I've had fucking what do you call it? Shakes in the morning with raw eggs, and it doesn't taste bad. Like if you have it with other shit, it's just like you don't even taste it.
No,
Really.
you don't.
To be honest.
No, you don't.
You know,
put
it's
banana
like
on it, it's fine.
it's like people are ew raw eggs, but then they're like bake a cake and then eat the cake mixture with raw eggs in it. Oh, it tastes so good. You know, you guys know what I'm talking about. You know when the batter of a cake, right? Or pancakes, right? When you cook a fucking pancake,
Yeah.
the batter of a fucking pancake tastes amazing, and it's got raw eggs in it.
I've never tried it before, so I wouldn't know. But I'm sure it would taste
Bro, I used to love doing it as a kid. Like your parents would cook like pancakes, and then I swear the batter of the pancakes raw. I liked it better, and it tasted better to me.
This might be an Austin take right here.
Than the
because I
cooked
never did. I never cookie dough and shit like that.
Yeah, it was the same sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rate it.
Dude, you're fucking manspreading. My adductors are getting like an isometric here. I don't want to say anything, but I'm like, fuck.
Well, you know,
it's
bro.
cooking me, man.
You know, bro. That Italian sausage. You know what I mean? Like, fuck, bro. I don't want to like suffocate that.
I know, I saw your story this morning, mate. Sunlight the fucking eyeballs, mate. And I was like,
Yeah.
balls.
Yeah, you only read the balls bit. Yeah.
Just pulled down his pants in the morning, mate. Getting those ball sack PRs, mate.
No, but you do that, don't you? You go for a walk in the morning.
I do go for a walk in the morning.
So this is like a big thing. Well, you would have learned it off Andrew Huberman as well, but I learned it off Andrew Huberman as well. Like just getting sunlight in the morning helps regulate your sleep hormones, right, and your circadian rhythm. So then when you actually go to sleep at night or go to sleep at night, you have an easier time because your body releases melatonin a little bit better.
Yeah, exactly.
So you fall asleep quicker, and I've noticed a substantial difference in terms of my sleep quality and how fast I fall asleep since going for a morning walk and getting that sunlight in my eyeballs.
Yeah.
Have you ever had trouble sleeping though in your life?
Definitely during university times, I definitely did.
Yeah.
For me, I struggled tremendously during university with sleep, and I noticed as well. This may sound like common sense to some people, but when I was overweight and obese, you do struggle more to go to sleep.
Interesting.
People think it's easier because you just eat more calories, so you should just be able to knock yourself out. But you're carrying a lot of fucking fat around your body, so like when you're rolling around bed, it almost feels like a pulsing of your belly going towards the mattress.
You don't feel as cold as. You don't feel cold though as much.
You
When
never
body
do
fat
feel
on you.
cold when you're obese.
That's a
or
big
overweight.
thing, bro. Since I've gotten more like leaner,
Oh, you're cold as hell all the time.
bro, I just feel the cold so much more. I
Yeah.
actually feel it like hitting my body, my organs more.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that layer of fat to protect you. But then it's like in summer, if you're like not lean, it's fucking harder in summer because you overheat quicker.
That's true. That's true.
You know?
But it's funny. Obviously, you guys know Si. When he did his competition prep, every time we would go outside, even though it was like 30 degrees, he would put on a jumper. And I'm like, that's just wild. Like, why do you need a jumper when it's 30 degrees? It reminds me of like when I used to go to Japan, when I went to Japan and China. Like, it was hot weather during this time because it was summer period. But they would put umbrellas and like long sleeve clothes over their head, over their bodies. And I'm like, dude, it's 31 degrees. How the hell are you guys not hot or anything like that?
Yeah.
And these guys are like, whatever, yeah, sure, okay. And then Si was kind of at that same thing, where it was just like, you put a jumper on at 30 degrees because it was so lean. And as you said, Austin, is that when you carry that a bit more body fat around you, you feel cold much more quickly and like to higher temperatures than other individuals, or just anybody at an average body.
So that's life. That's life balancing things out. You can be shredded, but you're gonna feel cold more.
Yeah, you will. That's the sacrifice you have to make for being a shredded
And
dog, mate.
if you get too shredded, your dick doesn't work.
Yeah.
So
I'll know all about
Is that the
that,
third
right?
part of this is like saying? It's like you can be a shredded cunt, you can be a sick cunt, but you're gonna be cold.
Yeah,
That's
well,
like
true.
the third
I mean,
part,
that's just
yeah.
a huge sacrifice of the
Yeah.
whole thing. You can feel cold all the time. But
Yeah.
I'm sure Ziz felt cold all the time. I'm sure, like, he was probably in the gym. He's like,
Shirt was off regardless.
yeah, he's like, fuck, bro, it's cold.
yeah,
What
yeah,
the
but you
fuck,
can,
bro?
you can either be.
But that's why he said,
Yeah,
what the
but you
fuck,
can
bro,
either
all
you
the
can either sit there and say I'm cold, be a sad cunt about it, or you can be a sick cunt.
Go work out.
Alright.
time. True.
You know,
Yeah.
embrace the shredded lifestyle. Fucking
Yeah.
be.
Or embrace the difficult.
Yeah.
If it's cold as fuck, mate, you're just a cold bastard, mate. Think about it like that.
Yeah.
You're just like Kobe every time you walk around the place because you're cold.
Kobe. Fucking hell. Yo, MJ. Fucking hell.
That's it, mate.
Yeah.
Bro, I swear to fucking God, man, with this bloody isometric on the abductor, man, it's killing me.
Just push into my leg.
No, because your man's spreading, dude. And then I have to work my adductors,
Yeah, just
man.
push
Then I'm going to get asymmetries, mate. I'm going to get muscular imbalance.
Bro's gonna work out with DOMs.
I know, I am.
Alright, I think we both know.
I got a deadlift, bro.
I would think we both know isometrics don't have much of a hypertrophic effect on the muscle.
Sometimes it can. Sometimes it can.
Yeah, but in your specific scenario where you're fucking doing 1,000-meter lunges every day, I don't think I will.
Okay, nah, true. Well, you're not taking the muscle for a full range of motion, so obviously you're not going to get the most hypertrophy.
That was an arc and a half, bro.
Sorry?
The lunges.
Which is
that was
a good segue. Why the fuck were you doing 1,000? Tell everyone, why were you doing 1,000-meter lunges every day?
Yeah. So basically,
Tell everyone, like, what you actually did though.
okay, so I had to in 2021. I wanted to cut weight, and honestly, I didn't really understand why I did in the first place. To be really honest with you, I think I just looked in the mirror one day and I was like, okay, I got to lose some weight. So I lost weight, and I went from about 91.5 to about 79.5. So that's about 12 kilos. But I was already pretty okay in terms of body. Like I was at an average body fat percentage for a male. 20% is average. Right?
Yeah.
Like people say, oh no, it's not. If you go to your gym, but it's like no. Like to world population, 20% body fat's average at an average, right? Relative. It's relative, right? To achieve population,
I'll take. I don't think it should be.
it shouldn't be. I
Yeah.
don't disagree with you. It should be.
That's a cold as fuck take.
I know that is a cold as fuck take. Like 20% means you're probably like borderlining overweight. That's
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's average like to the world population right now, but technically it means you're overweight. Or you're getting to that point where you're borderlining
Yeah, world's fat.
being to being overweight. So
I think 15% should be average for men.
yeah, because that means you're just lean and healthy. That's it.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's
And I
perfectly
think it's
fine.
sustainable for most
Yeah.
people.
Year round, you could sustain a 15% body fat if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things as well, like the reason why I did the lunges, I think it was just a good way. I wanted to challenge myself during this cut, and I was seeing a lot of bodybuilders at this time just do like cruddy cardio, where it's like, okay, let's just go on the stepper, go for like 150 beats per minute for 45 minutes twice a day.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I wanted to do is I wanted to cut away from the mold. I've always been a guy that always likes to be unpopular sometimes, just to break away and try some different things out. So I decided to do walking lunges for about a mile. It started at 400 meters, and then as I was starting to get leaner, I was like, damn, these lunges are getting easy. Like I could go for 400 meters, and my heart rate was only about 115 beats per minute for 10 minutes, which is pretty impressive. Like cardiovascular wise, that's strong as hell.
And that's why we're playing fucking legsies right here on the chair, because your thighs are so fucking damn big from all those lunges, bro.
I know. My thighs still get PTSD from the lunges because that's why they're so fucking huge.
Well, every time you lunge, they're like.
No, they're just like, not today, champ, not today. no thanks. Anytime I do walking lunges, my body's just like, we don't want to do this one today,
You've done a
champ.
lifetime of lunges, though.
Sorry?
You did a lifetime of lunges in one little period of
I know,
time.
that's pretty cool, Jake, to think about that.
Yeah.
And then, so it was amazing as well, because I think during this time as well, I was probably getting the most support from everybody around me during this period of time. So everyone was kind of seeing like I was going to another level that I haven't touched before. And it doesn't happen when you gain weight, which I find a bit weird and awkward. Like whenever, like unless it's very visibly obvious that somebody goes from like, let's say, some skinny rut, and it turns into ziz.
So it is.
Yeah,
And
everyone goes,
yeah.
wow, that's remarkable, that's really impressive stuff. But if you let's say go from somebody that's like say 11% body fat, right, and then it goes to like 15% body fat, but he has exponentially way more muscle mass, it's never commended, it's never celebrated. It's like, okay, whatever.
Because you arguably look worse because you're fatter.
Yeah, but what if you also went through a main gaining phase for about 2 years, and you just happen to be at 15% body fat?
Yeah, that's fine, but I'm just saying, like, objectively it looks worse.
You reckon?
Yeah, holding more body fat, you don't look as big. Until,
Well, at
until, you,
15%.
until you shred down, like in a photo, side-by-side photo, yeah, you build bigger, but people aren't impressed by that because it doesn't look as amazing as someone being lean.
Okay, yeah, that's a cold take as well. You've been throwing around a lot of cold takes today, Austin. Like, Jesus, man.
No,
like, obviously.
I'm just saying that's why.
No, I agree with you, because obviously when you're 11% body fat, you have more visible veins.
But the thing is, if you bulk up, build a bunch of muscle, then you cut back and then compare the shredded version of yourself to the bigger version of yourself with the same body fat, then people are like, oh, you know?
Yeah, exactly,
right?
exactly. Yeah,
so,
but no, I think you're 100% correct there. I think that like if you're going through a main gaining phase or a bulking phase, let's say, right? Most of the time, a bulking phase is just I ate too much food and I didn't count my calories. Really, like
accidental bulk.
Pretty much. Really, most of the time, most bulks are accidental. And
I just want to get fat because I'm lazy.
Pretty much.
It's easier to bulk than cut.
It is.
But if you don't manage your bulk, then your cut's fucking hard.
I reckon your cut's just as... I reckon your bulk's harder because it takes more time to gain muscle than it is to lose weight.
Yeah.
So you can lose weight pretty quickly if you wanted to. You'll lose muscle. You'll lose muscle if you go quickly on a cut.
Yeah.
But to gain muscle, it takes a decent amount of time. Like, gain good quality lean body mass.
Unless you're on trend.
Unless you're on trend.
Helps.
Yeah, of course I would know, you know.
Avid trend user,
That's
by the way,
mate.
guys.
Yeah.
Like,
I take trend.
gram a day, right?
Next door neighbour takes trend probably.
Alright, we need to clarify it. This is a complete joke. He doesn't take trend.
No, I don't
Because
take
there'll be some people listening, be like, what?
He's like, you kind of suck for being on trend, dude. Fuck. This guy takes trend. Get a load of this fucking guy.
Yeah.
I hop on too.
He looks okay. Maybe I should hop on trend.
Just to clarify, that's a complete joke, guys. This guy's
Yeah.
never taken like anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, most people
creatine.
can figure that out.
Yeah, no, because obviously if you take creatine,
Oh, I take creatine.
You're not natty,
so you're not natty.
Pretty much, yeah.
We're all not natty. We take creatine.
Okay, I take whey protein isolate as well. That could be considered like some sort of supplementation as well.
I track my calories, not natty.
Yeah, not natty. I track calories. I don't intuitively eat after the chat. Anyway, so back to the story. We're off tracking quite a bit here, but so yeah, pretty much did my lunges. I think it was December the 19th in 2021. Got Austin to take some photos for me at the Fremantle Dog Beach, pretty much.
Because you're a dog.
Because I was on my good old, I was in my step 1 underwear. Sai was there with me as well. You guys thinking, who the hell's Sai?
No, they're good photos.
They were good photos.
Oh, I know the photo you're talking about.
Yeah, it's the one in my underwear, purple underwear. Yeah. I look like Daniel Craig. And
He does. He does. Or what's his name? Off the Transporter.
Oh, Jason Statham, mate.
Jason Statham. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good.
With the shaved head and stuff.
Yeah. I like it.
You suit that look.
I do.
I reckon that's when you look your best, when you're shredded and you have a bald head.
And a big neck.
Not bald, but just shaved head.
Yeah, I agree.
I just realised, bro, you've had so many different arcs. You had your One Punch Man arc.
I know, that's pretty cool, eh?
Yeah.
I'm like an
6 months
anime
in
character.
Yeah, like you're like going next Super Saiyan.
I know.
Like going up another level and then...
I honestly, I'm not too sure why I do it to myself sometimes, where I just go through so many different phases of my training.
I remember your Batman arc where you're just training in your garage.
I know, that was probably one of my favourite arcs ever.
Yeah, that's it.
And then I just bailed out on it for some godforsaken reason. No clue why. I think it was just because there was no music, no nothing in there. And it was just really boring. Like, not having people around.
You're just putting yourself through depression for no reason.
Pretty much.
The hard.
Just for the difficult. And then it's just like, what the hell am I putting myself through this? What, just so I can feel shit?
Yeah.
So I was like, just go back to the commercial gym. And then if there's any time where it's, let's say, wet weather, or I just can't be buggered going to the gym, I'll just train in my garage.
Yeah.
But that's a rare time. Even when it's wet, I'll just go anyway, because you're indoors, so who cares? So, and then after the cut, had Christmas time and all that stuff, obviously good times. Then, had to pretty much gain some weight again. Honestly, not gonna lie, I didn't really count calories during that 4-month period. It was like from December, like Christmas Day, pretty much all the way to April. I just kept eating food. Didn't even track calories or anything like that, just ate.
Whatever you want to.
Yeah, pretty much. I didn't like go inside the fridge and eat a dozen Oreos or anything like that. I was still pretty like calculated with what I ate. And
what are your thoughts on tracking?
Tracking, I think it's good and bad. It's good and bad. I think it's good, obviously, because it gives you an objective measurement to your food, and that's still very important. And obviously, one of the best and universally agreed way at this point now to lose weight is to put yourself in a caloric deficit. That's agreed upon by pretty much every single PT. But I think at some point, people may think I'm crazy for this, but you should get to a point where you should be able to intuitively eat to the point where you're just getting enough calories for your body to be like, okay, I'm satiated and I'm all good. That takes years though, I'm talking like 10 plus years of knowing your body, knowing the phases that you have to go through with your body, knowing your body's appetite, what works for you in terms of foods, how much protein do you need, how much carbohydrates you need, because the thing about nutrition, it's so different for everybody, so different. There's people that like higher fats for their diet just so they can keep themselves a little bit more satiated and full. Like for example, my mum needs a more higher fat diet instead of carbohydrates because she's not burning as much glucose or energy throughout the day. She's not moving around like 10,000 steps up and down and all this stuff. So what I need for someone like my mum is to potentially get more of a higher fat diet and still keep the protein just at a maintenance level or just at an adequate enough level for her. Not saying she doesn't need carbohydrates, you still need carbohydrates in your diet, but there's some people that need more carbohydrates and fats, so it's just going to differ from person to person.
Okay, what do you think of keto then? Now that
Rubbish.
Okay.
Rubbish. I hate it. Hate it. Now, for people that do have heart issues, I actually do think keto is pretty alright. So individuals that do have stuff like diabetes or anything like that, I actually do think that a keto intervention, I like to call it an intervention because it's not going to be a long-term diet fix. For maybe 12 weeks, 16 weeks, I actually think is actually pretty good for some individuals that do have heart problems. But outside of that, it's useless for pretty much anybody, in my opinion. Intermittent fasting, nothing special. Anabolic fasting, that's what I've heard. That's like a little bit of a niche one, where it's pretty much you just eat like proteins and fats and then you get like a carbohydrate spike before you go to bed. That's pretty stupid. I don't agree
I've
with
never
that.
heard of that one.
What do you say called?
Anabolic fasting. It's from a
Interesting.
It's from a nutritionist called Marco Di Pasquale. I'm pretty sure it was like in the 1970s, 1980s. Pretty much how we used to go about it is used to have proteins and fats as just 2 meals during a fasting period. Let's say it's 8 hours.
What, you mean a protein meal and a fat meal? Or do you have like combined?
No, combined. So for example, it's like beef mince and avocado. But that would be his lunch, and then just vegetables, right? And then you'd have that again. And then maybe an hour or two before you go to bed, you'd have like 2 to 3 bananas with coconut oil and some honey, just to get that carb spike before you go to bed. Because what he thought is that when you spike your insulin before bedtime and during your sleep, you're able to get the most muscle growth during that period of time. But that's just dumb as fuck. I don't agree with that at all. That's something I would absolutely not recommend to anybody.
And then you have things like the carnivore diet as well.
Carnivore diet's stupid. That's dumb. That's dumb.
It's like this the whole opposite of being fucking...
Oh yeah, according to the research. Oh, shut up, mate. Seriously. Fucking research.
I've heard shit like people eating high GI stuff before bed, so they like can fall asleep quicker because like it
crashes.
Yeah, so you have your crash.
Oh, okay,
and
that's
you fall asleep
interesting.
quicker.
That's interesting.
Not in terms of muscle building, but just in terms.
You just want to make sure you don't eat it too close to bed, so then you don't crash while you're asleep and then wake up.
Yeah, then
it's
your
like
body has to
timing it
digest
right.
it.
Sort of,
Yeah.
That's something that's an underrated tip I actually would recommend for some people is to not have food as like too early before bedtime or too late before bedtime. So for example, if you're having like let's say burger and chips 30 minutes before you go to bed, like I mean, geez, your body's still trying to digest that food down while you're in bed. So your body's like this the whole entire night. You're trying to digest the food, and obviously when you're asleep, your body's not functioning at a proper homeostasis as it would if you're up and awake. Right? It's common sense. So I don't recommend people doing that too early before go to bed. I recommend maybe like an hour, 2 hours before you go to bed. Same with drinking water as well, because you don't want to pee throughout the night. It's pretty annoying.
Yeah.
You can delay that as well.
Salt.
Just piss in the pants.
Having salt before bed, you can delay that need to urinate through having salt before bed.
Okay, that's interesting. I might try that out actually.
Because your body holds onto the water longer.
Okay.
So that's something I've tried, and just even just at dinner, just having like more salt at dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a bad thing to do.
Yeah.
So you just don't want to have too much, so that makes you like thirsty as fuck, and you end up drinking like 2 liters.
Bro, waking up at 2 a.m. like 2 a.m. thirst, bro.
Just crawling on the ground.
Yeah.
To the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta mention, you said the lunge arc. There's like the one punch man arc.
That would be the
Sled
one punch
drags.
man up.
It was just when you were like in the gym with your bald head, staunching everyone.
Okay, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you had your
Staunching
RDR,
everyone's a big cold
yeah.
time. I don't know about that, man. Like.
Mogging.
Yeah, it sounds a little bit more sophisticated. Staunching everyone.
And then
I'm
we
not
had the backward sled drags.
Yeah, the backward sled
That's
drags.
like your most known one, I'd say.
What a run that is. That's cool
Yeah.
thinking about it now, man. I went pretty much a year in a row of doing backward sled drags, 800 meters. There were days where but this was days when I had COVID-19 in December. It was about 4th of December. It was on a Saturday. It was funny. I was with one of my buddies at Revo, and I was training just regularly. And I was like, I feel great today. But I was going throughout the entire gym. I was like, fuck, I don't feel too well respiratory-wise. I'm like, what the hell's going on? But physically, I felt great. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Let's do this thing. And I was training with my buddy. We were in the car together and all that stuff, blah, 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 blah. And then when I was home after my gym session, I was like, that was a good gym session. Jesus Christ. And I was feeling like rubbish. And then I was like, I should probably go test myself, just then. Test myself. And what happened was, because I'd never tried the lollipop once before, it's got like a little circle thing on top. I actually used the lollipop part instead of the foamy part at the bottom. So I was just like sucking on the circly metal plastic ball.
Yeah, backwards.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, why the fuck isn't this working, man? And I'm like going all over the place and stuff like that. And then Mum's like, you're going the wrong way. And I was like, oh, shit, okay, yeah. So I had to do it the other. So it was me like for 20 minutes trying to figure out like how to work this COVID rack test. Kept failing, and I was like, you actually got to do it in the foamy part of the mouth where the little cushioning is. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And then I tested positive, and I was like, and I was afraid to tell everyone. I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah. So I was like, kind of like slowly walking into my room, just like very tightly. I was like, oh shit, I got COVID. Yeah. Closed the door very gently, and then all I hear is, what was your test like? And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, I kind of tested positive. And she's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I tested positive. Sorry, Sol's mum.
I can imagine your mum saying
yeah. And she's like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? I was like, Mum, I'm sorry. I don't intentionally go out of my way to catch COVID, mate. Like, it just happened and stuff like that. So I had to go through 5 days isolation. Went to Melbourne for a trip. That was just at the end of my 5-day isolation as well. I didn't want to go 7 days anyway, even if I was positive. I just would have gone to the gym those 2 days. And I was like, okay, got to go to Melbourne. And I was like, how am I going to do the sled drag? And I was like, okay, I can either go to a gym and just do it at the gym, or I was like, just do it at the hotel. And I was like, okay, let's just opt for the hotel so I don't look like an absolute nut job in front of everybody. So I was like, okay, let's go to the hotel, hop on the treadmill, turn off the treadmill and walk it backwards for 15 minutes. Bless you, mate.
Thanks, man.
Jesus
Christ.
Shit, you're sick, mate. Are you kidding me? Alright, see you, man. Tom and I will talk about this from now on. We'll take over the JumpX podcast, mate.
Yeah, I'm dying, bro.
No. So, went to Melbourne, walked backwards 15 to 20 minutes, came back home, and it was like Monday at like 8 p.m. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to go out on the sled after coming off a plane. So I just did it around my house for like 15 to 20 minutes. So here's me just like around my room, around my house, just walking backwards.
I remember that.
And everyone's thinking, what the fuck are you doing? And I'm just like walking backwards around my house in like a circle for like 100 minutes.
It's recording now.
Back 3, 2, 1.
Alright, so do these backwards sled drags help your knees?
Yes, they did. They did. They did help out with my knees. And funny enough, when I stopped actually doing the backwards sled drags, my knees start to crack all of a sudden. So I go into a squat position when I'm dead cold first thing in the morning, and I'm just like with my knees. And I'm like, this is either just the body just kind of releasing some joint fluid. So I'm like, okay, it's probably not that deep of an issue. But at the same time, I didn't get that at all when I was doing my backwards sled dragging either. So I was like, okay, is it an anecdotal thing? Is it just coincidence? But then, like, who gives a shit? Like, I don't really worry.
It doesn't hurt when you do it.
Nah. So I was like, who cares?
Yeah, cracking's not bad.
Nah, it isn't. I don't think it's bad at all. And it's amazing chiropractors make money off of that as well. So, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Damn.
Here comes the takes.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
But so no, it was a hell of a ride, that 365 days, man. Really enjoyed it. It wasn't tough. It was actually pretty easy. Not gonna lie. What was tough was actually the discipline to do it every single day. There were days where I felt like rubbish.
It's funny. I joke around. You're like the David Goggins of my friends.
No, you said that.
So I've said that to you like many times before, but this guy, he's like the David Goggins of my friends. He's literally just like does all this insane stuff, man. Insane stuff like the backwards sled drags, or like lunges.
Ultra
I'm waiting for you to do like ultra marathons next. Legit, I'm not even kidding.
No,
I'm waiting for that to come up.
Funny enough, I probably wouldn't actually touch running at all ever in my life. But I would do something like ultra marathon related to something like a bike or rowing or something like that. Because there have been opportunities where I've actually gotten offers from certain sports and individuals, and I just don't tell people about it. I got offered to do footy, AFL. I declined it.
When was this?
Oh, this was maybe about 2022.
Oh, it's not that long ago.
No. There was like 2 clubs that were quite interested in like getting me to play footy because they were just like physically like they just think that was an absolute freak show. So they were just like like fucking like did you like because they kept seeing my feet. So like one of the footy guys was looking, they're like, holy fuck, like that's pretty impressive. Like so they're just like, okay, let me see if I can talk to the footy guys. And I was like, okay, I didn't really ask for that, but thanks. Like appreciate it, man. Like I saw the good intention behind it, so I was like, okay, I'll just take it for what it is. And then I was just like, oh, do you want to be a part of the club? And I was like, nah, fuck it.
Well, you're a bit of a bulldozer playing basketball.
I am. I'm an absolute fucking
bullshit. Like, you're like a silverback gorilla running at the rim. It's funny.
It's like Zion Williamson type of shit. 6 foot, what? 6 foot Zion.
Yeah. Yeah, legit. It was funny. It was just funny seeing you like take it to the rim.
Yeah, 100%, man.
Yeah. You're dunking arc as well.
Yeah, a brief dunking arc, yeah.
Yeah, that was a bit of I think that was a very underwhelming arc, and I honestly...
You were grabbing the rim.
I actually low-key felt like there was some unfinished business with that dunking arc, to be honest.
You were grabbing the rim at what, 95 kilos?
Huh?
No, 95's a big call, man. Big. That's a huge call. Damn, man. 95. Holy shit, man.
No, but you weren't, bro. You were
No way
pretty
you're
heavy.
95.
You were pretty heavy.
I was at 95.
Well, how much are you now?
I'm about 89 at the moment. But that's because I've gained a little bit of lean body mass.
So, okay, so you would have been like 90 kilos at 6 foot.
About 90
Grabbing the rim.
About 90. I was
Grabbing
at
the
1.
rim. Huh? Off 1 foot. Yeah, off 1 foot.
That's pretty impressive.
That's... Yeah. Bro, that's
Sorry.
You know Brendan.
And he was like, dude, he wasn't power jumping either, he was speed jumping.
Yeah.
He was grabbing the rim.
Bro, just because of half. You wanted the half.
He was 90 kilos, yeah, he was 90 kilos. Speed jumping from a distance, grabbing the rim.
That's pretty cool.
So,
but you know Brendan, like Brendan Humberstone?
yeah.
When he started with us on JumpX.
No, I don't know him. Like, we trained him, but I don't know him.
Yeah. But he was 130 kilos.
Yeah, that's crazy.
How much jumping off 1 foot? Like 112?
Damn!
Yeah.
That's impressive. 80 kilo weight.
No, he's dunking easily.
That's
off both
impressive.
plants as well. Not
Yeah.
just, yeah.
Off 1 and 2 feet, yeah.
That's phenomenal. Well done, Brendan. Good stuff, mate. But yeah. So yeah, like I do feel like there is an unfinished business with the dunking arc for sure.
Ooh.
Like I do feel like at some point I definitely will. I'm not saying that just because there's a camera recording in front of me, but I definitely do think, like mentally, I do think about that like arc actually quite a bit for this past. Like,
If you want to dunk, you're gonna have to dedicate yourself for at least 2 years.
Oh yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
I know that. I know.
To dunk or
To dunk easily, yeah.
2 years, you reckon?
I reckon.
I reckon AP would do it in
No, I'll probably take about
6 to 8 months.
Prove me fucking wrong, man.
Oh, is that what? Oh, okay.
Prove me fucking wrong.
Well, I mean, look, I've got an arc at the
Yeah.
moment that I'm trying to complete, and this is actually the first time I've actually mentioned this to anybody at all. But I'm actually going to try and pull a 5-plate deadlift and also do a 100-mile assault bike ride at the same day by December the 30th.
Wait, what was that
Yeah.
second one?
So,
100 miles?
Tom's like, cardio? What is that?
Yeah, well-
what is this language you're speaking?
what is this link?
How long would that take you? Like,
That'll probably take about 4 to 5 hours. Probably take about 5 hours. At a steady pace.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill myself off the bat.
mm.
So I'm going to try and see if I can do that by December the 30th. So that's a huge goal of mine.
That's so funny your reaction because I got asked to run like 6Ks the other day. I'm like, what the fuck do you think I am? Like,
Bro, 500 meters, dead. On the spot.
yeah,
Like,
30 meter fucking warm up.
You joke about that, but like, I'll be doing my dynamic warm up and dunking. I'm like,
Bro, we're so fucking specific. It's funny.
Yeah, but I said to you on Monday, I definitely do think you and Tom would benefit off doing like just a little bit of cardio, like each week. And I reckon you guys will be like, nah, don't want to do it. But I think once you do it, you'll be like, okay, like I can see the benefits behind this.
I'm doing 8 rep deadlifts, bro.
I do not.
Yeah, that's not the same shit, bro. That's not the same shit, Tom. Come on, man.
No. I agree.
Yeah,
I just fuck it.
you just can't be backing it.
What would you do though? Would you do bike? Because you couldn't do running because you're
Nah,
Achilles
not
would explode.
running. Fuck running.
No, I would probably try to build up to running because I think it'd be a really good thing.
I think it would be
Because it'd build a really sound structure in my Achilles. It'd build up the Achilles tendon really well.
okay. True, because you're gonna get
Because the tendons are built better through volume, not intensity.
What did you say, AP, about the marathon runners?
Yeah, it was something to do. Okay, so I said this on my story, and I reckon I'm absolutely correct about this. I'm not wrong, but I think marathon runners or like long distance runners are masterclass.
They have some of the
extensive plyo
strongest.
metrics.
They have some of the strongest tendons.
They do, and no one would think about that per se. And cyclists, I reckon, have some of the most healthiest spines out there because their rib cages are expressing compressing and decompressing for thousands and thousands of breaths at a higher physical stress than your average heart rate in a spinal flex position. And I always like to think of a balloon and a punch to the uppercut to the gut. So let's say if I want to punch you an uppercut really, really high, your body's going to pull back like this while breathing and expanding right here. So where's the breath going to go? Into your backside. So imagine when you're like this, right, and your lumbar spine is decompressing and compressing in a spinal flex position while you're doing cardiovascular activity. And people always want to mention Wim Hof breath work and all this bullshit as a way to improve your respiratory system. It doesn't help with respiratory system. That helps with more so relaxation, calming down, and taking it easy. And I think breath work for relaxation stuff and just meditating, regulating stress, I think it's phenomenal. I think it's fantastic. But for objectively improving your respiratory system and your cardiovascular system, cardio is the best breath work you can.
Yeah, well,
period, point blank. It's not even debatable, in my opinion.
It's not like you can just only do breath work and then run a sub 2 hour marathon.
That's exactly correct.
Like you actually have to go and run fucking kilometers.
You actually got to go run some kilometers, and you got to do it at a low-hanging fruit. And I told Austin this like on Monday, is that the low-hanging fruit has to be at such a low intensity where you're not killing yourself. Because if you go to 150 beats per minute at average every single day, you're going to absolutely exhaust yourself. Like you won't be able to go to the gym unless you're David Goggins.
No, it's kind of like squatting every day. You're not going to max your squat every day.
No, exactly. You auto-regulate.
Yeah,
and
you can have easier days, and it's not going to be high volume if you're squatting every day either.
Exactly.
You might just work up to like one set every day.
Yeah,
that's not even like a high RPE.
That's not much volume either. Like people think that's a lot of volume, or like that would absolutely kill your nervous system. But you can get away with doing a decent amount of intensity, like RPE 8 to 9. For one set of a squat of one rep every single day if you really wanted to. Would I recommend squatting every single day? Probably not, but if you're going through like say an overcompensation cycle or you just want to work on your squat or you like squatting.
If you know you're going to have a deload or you're going to lower your volume afterwards and you're trying to like force it 1 week, that's fine.
I think so. I think it's perfectly fine.
So that's very often what I do on my training cycles. If I know I've got a deload coming, I'm not afraid to kill myself that week leading up to the deload.
Yeah, exactly.
Delayed gratification, baby.
Yeah.
Because what happens is overcompensation.
Yeah.
I think overcompensation, if you do it properly and structure it properly, I actually think is very underrated for a lot of individuals, particularly individuals that are athletes. Because you guys say all the time, if you guys are feeling like rubbish on your 4th week of jumping onto a rim, most of the time that can tend to be a good sign because that means you're pushing yourself in the gym hard. You're bringing intensity to the table, right? And this is something that I had to teach my buddy Mike, is that like, sorry Mike, I love you, but the RP that man goes to is only like 4 to 5 on certain repetitions. He just kind of goes through the motions. It's just like up and down, up and down, up and down. And I have to message him saying, we need to push the envelope. Like it's gonna suck. And if you're finding it difficult during your training sessions and you're getting anxious, low-key anxious before the session even starts, you're doing something pretty okay with your gym sessions.
Yeah, it's funny the variability in that and the people you train, right? Like for myself, I have the opposite problem. I always have to rein myself back.
I don't know. From an outside perspective, it wouldn't seem like that. But
no, it does feel like that.
It's interesting. Okay.
It does feel like that. I wouldn't, like nothing more than to turn up to the gym and kill myself every session. But we both know that's not productive for long-term results and to actually progress, right?
Yeah.
So that's where I have to be very disciplined on myself and manage like the RPE and all that sort of stuff to ensure I'm not fucking just, torturing myself every session.
Yeah.
And that's taking a lot of time to do.
Yeah.
So.
And that's the thing, mastering discipline, the discipline to take time off is just as important as discipline to go to the gym. Because anybody can get their asses to the gym and train like a headless chook. But it takes a mastery of your mind and your heart as well to settle back and relax yourself for a little bit. It sucks. There's some days where like I take a rest day on Sunday, I'm itching. I want to go to the gym, but I'm like, is this going to really benefit me in the long term? I have to sit down with myself and think for 5 minutes. I don't have to think about it all fucking day. But I can sit down with myself and think, okay, does this benefit me by just going to the gym and killing myself and flogging myself down?
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Or just go through the motions.
Like not many people have done this, but I've like genuinely overtrained myself to the point where like my lifts were going down. I was getting weaker in the past.
Yeah.
So that's where like ever since then I've had to be like super conscious of how hard I'm pushing myself.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure if you've ever like genuinely overtrained to that point.
I would say during my cut in 2021, I would say I was pretty much close to overtraining.
Yeah.
I would say that was probably as close to overtraining as I could get. I was doing the 1 mile lunges, and this is the thing about the lunges. Mentally, they feel good, but they slaughtered me. Like just the eccentric load on the glutes and the quads absolutely killed me. Knee-wise, I actually felt pretty fine. Like I didn't get any tendonitis issues as I was starting to lose weight, which is actually a pretty good thing. But just that eccentric load of that forward lunge absolutely crushed me. And if you're doing that for thousands of repetitions within that 1 mile, because I've calculated how many lunges
And it was body weight, right?
Body weight.
Because as you're getting leaner, right? You obviously you weigh less as you get leaner, right?
That's exactly.
So that probably would have offset the loading a bit.
It did.
And probably why you didn't get, well, would have been a factor as to why you didn't get tendonitis, because even though you're getting leaner, was your workload increasing as you were getting leaner?
Yeah, my work capacity was
So maybe your overall loading on your tendon was staying around the same because you're getting lighter. Or it still might have been getting more, but not progressing fast enough to work to the point where you did get tendonitis.
Yeah.
Because your body weight's offsetting that.
Yeah.
Additional volume and load.
Yeah.
And the tendon would have adapted a little bit as well.
Yeah, that's what I think as well. And that was the same thing with what's happening with my assault bike rides. You guys have been seeing every morning I'm pretty much doing like 30 to 35 minutes of, zone 2, low intensity, steady state cardio every single morning or every single afternoon, whenever I can fit it in, right? And what I was actually scared going into a streak like this or like trying to do it every single day that I was actually going to get some genuine tendonitis issues. But I built myself up to that. It wasn't like I just went into that like an absolute headless chook and went every single day without doing any type of adaptation or any type of work on that assault bike before I got into that streak. I was doing maybe 4 to 5 times a week for about 4 weeks and 5 weeks in a row before I actually touched going every day.
Yeah, so you... Yeah.
So adding 2 extra days on, honestly, it didn't do anything.
Yeah.
It felt perfectly fine. Now, this is another thing as well, that people tend to get bored on rest days. One of the things that I would recommend is just do something physically that's just barely anything. So something like walking. Just go for a walk outside. If you're really that bored and you have an itch and a tick to go to the gym, even though it's a growth day, I like to call it a growth day just for the mental thing. If I say it's a rest day, I'm like, fuck this, like this is bullshit. But if I say it's a growth day, it gives me a chance to flip up my mindset and give me a positive behind and say, okay, if I take this day off, I'm growing. I'm getting stronger, I'm getting healthier, I'm having a discipline that other people just don't have. People have too much of an all or nothing mentality behind their lifting and behind their journey into this weight training experience. That once something bad happens or something flicks off just like that instantly, they fluster and they're like, oh, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Something happened, a little niggle happened in my knee, but they need to steady themselves and stay calm within that storm. If you don't stay calm within that storm, understanding that injuries are inevitable if you're pushing your body hard.
Yeah.
If you're pushing your body hard, there is going to be at some point injuries. I used to listen to Australian strength coach quite a lot, and he always used to stay injury free all the time. The durability factor is important, which I agree with. If you can stay healthy most of the time, that's obviously a positive. Huge.
Yeah, it's like inevitable things are going to happen. It's just how you handle and manage those
Load management.
when you do start to get those signs.
Exactly.
If you keep pushing when you start to get those signs, when you know you're probably going to hurt yourself through pushing,
that's another thing.
That holds back progress.
Yeah, I agree.
So like when some of our athletes, like if one of them has like a little bit of a knee flare up, they either respond from one way, like you're kind of saying, like, ride the wave, like get through the storm, but then some of them who are a bit newer to it will like crap themselves.
Yeah.
And like it's the end of the world, and it's like, bro, it's a 4 out of 10 knee pain. We can
exactly.
solve this within a couple of days.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I agree.
It's like you're gonna dump in a week. Like you're fine.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then one of the things that happened with me is I had my SI joint injury, and the story behind that actually, I reckon that's my most epic story yet. People would think it's nothing because it's like, whatever. Everyone deals with a sacral iliac joint injury. Who gives a shit? But to me, that was the time that I actually had to almost go to a Rocky 3, where I had to go from top back to bottom all over again. And I think one of the things about these quote-unquote arcs that I do, as you guys would say, is that I always have to go back to the bottom to get back to the top again, to feel winning again. And that's important, because with injuries, particularly if the injury is really, really messed up or shit, you have to take yourself mentally back to the bottom all over again and take yourself back to the top again. And for some people, it fucking sucks. Because then it doesn't become a physical issue at that point. It becomes a psychological issue at that point.
Yeah, here's the point though. If you look at the best, right, they never actually let themselves get to the bottom.
Okay, but we're not Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant. Like, we're just...
Whoa, no. Yeah, Michael or LeBron. Because Kobe did go to the bottom with his Achilles.
He did,
but that was late in his career, to be fair.
Because he pushed it too hard, yeah.
No, but hypothetically, like, none of us are like at that level of Kobe mentality. We always say Mamba mentality. We preach this idea of Mamba mentality of being the Jordan mentality. But we're not Michael Jordan or Kobe Bryant.
Oh, no, but we can aspire to it.
Yeah, we can aspire, but I want to think of myself as my own hero when I'm 75. When I die, I want to say I'm that guy and I'm him. You know what I mean? That's why, I always like to think I'm second place in everything.
And it's okay to have those people you look up to. There's
nothing wrong with that at all.
100%. Those people had people they looked up to. That they aspired towards and guided them, you know?
Yeah.
For someone like LeBron, it would be probably someone like Michael Jordan.
Yeah, of course.
You know, otherwise why would he still be playing?
Yeah, but once again, that's a cold take. Like, that's common sense. Like, you know what I mean? Like, of course. Yeah, exactly. Like, no one goes anywhere without inspiration. You know what I mean? To think that you're just not going to idolize or be inspired by anybody is just redundant. It doesn't make sense, right? Now, you shouldn't, because you've got to remember as well, idolization can sometimes be dangerous, because what happens when you idolize an individual is that you never see the flaws and the mistakes that an individual does make, and that's sometimes not a good thing to do. But to be inspired by somebody is a different ballpark. You can be inspired, that's perfectly fine. But the person that you should be inspired by most of all is yourself. Because if you aren't inspired by your own actions and inspired by your own journey every single day, where are you going to be when you're 80? That's important, man. That's important to everybody.
Hopefully that works some people up, bro.
Sorry?
Hopefully that works some people up.
It probably won't, but we'll see. We'll see. I hope it does. But like, at the end of the day, like, it's cliche, but you got one life on this earth. You're going to die one day, right? But then what you make of that life is going to have to be important. If you're sooking and complaining all the time about your life circumstances, you have a responsibility and obligation to fix that. And if you're not fixing that stuff and you're not, doing the certain intentional practices to try and get yourself to a better point than where you were from yesterday to today and then to tomorrow and then to 5 years' time, I mean, which hero are you chasing? Are you chasing the hero that's like thousands of followers on Instagram, or are you chasing yourself as a hero? Because you shouldn't be looking at your thousands of followers and thinking, okay, I've got to do this for them. You've got to do this for you. Your heart's got to be in the right place, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people tend to superficially lie about these things and say, I do it for me. I do it for me. It's important for me to do it. Are you doing it for your parents? Nah. You shouldn't be doing it for your parents. You should be doing it for you. And if you have to disappoint your parents and your family and your friends along the way of doing that, it takes a lot of courage, strength and bravery to take yourself to that storm and that route.
Yeah.
And that's important.
Yeah. There's always some ulterior motive behind why you're doing it. Like, you might think you're doing it for you, but deep down, I think the people that reach those high levels of success are deep down they're most insecure.
I can see that.
So they're doing it to prove something to themselves so then they can prove it to someone else, and they're probably not fully aware of it.
I see what you mean. I get what you mean.
You know what I mean?
Do you feel like you have an ulterior motive?
Oh yeah.
What is it?
Without doubt. Obviously I'm trying to improve myself as much as I can, but deep down, like that would stem from insecurity of not feeling like I'm doing good enough or good enough. You know? Right? And I think a lot of people can relate to that. That's why someone like Michael Jordan did what he did, because of his brother, that fear and insecurity of his brother being better than him, right? That's where that competitive nature kind of stemmed from, and that's just a deeply ingrained thought process from someone's childhood like that. Same with LeBron, probably you can see it from the outside, his biggest probably insecurity is being seen as lesser than someone like Michael Jordan when he retires, I think. Otherwise, why else would he still be doing what he's doing? Huh?
The fact that he didn't have a father.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's why he's trying so hard with Bronny and Bryce.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Doing what he didn't have, sort of thing.
Exactly.
So I think it's like kind of a bit of a lie when we say it to ourselves, so we're doing it for ourselves. You know?
I don't think it's a lie. I think it's dependent. I think it's a 50-50.
That's what I mean. That's where it's like a bit of, not fully.
Yeah.
You know, it is a bit. Because at the end of the day, like, we do care about what other people think. Everyone cares what other people think.
100%.
People that go around, oh, don't care what other people think.
You do deep down inside.
You do to an extent, right?
You need to a little bit as well. Because
You
if you don't
do.
care at all, then it's like you have no filter.
I
You
agree.
do whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
If you know,
And that's not a good thing either. Having no filter is dangerous. That's a bad thing to worry about as well. You know what I mean? I used to always think like having no filter was always a good thing because it showed generosity and realism. Not generosity, sorry, but realism and honesty. But as well, you have to carry yourself with some sort of poise and some sort of class as well.
But these insecurities, they're good. They're like a superpower.
Yeah, I would
They're
say
a
so.
superpower. They're a good thing because
I'd
they
say
help. They help drive us to what we want to achieve. But it's just important to be aware of them, and not let them take control of us and lead to too much, or lead to unhappiness. Because it can be very easy to do that. You know, because it's always the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, and then you never feel like you're good enough, right? So and it's just a never-ending thing of just unhappiness because you're always going to the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, you know. And that can be a trap to fall into if you're not aware of it.
Yeah.
You know? So that's where like that can lead to a lot of unfulfillment.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
In your life. So
it is important to have goals though.
that's a big thing I've like become aware of in myself, and it's important to have goals, but it's kind of like, you know, you don't want to rely on that for your overall happiness and fulfillment because it's never ending and you're never going to feel fulfilled or happy because there's always going to be the next goal, the next goal, the next goal. Alright, that's where you're just going to be caught, you know, that's where if you get too caught up in that, then you're just going to have a sad life. You know?
You know,
So that doesn't mean don't have goals, don't strive towards things, don't work hard. But that's just something I've just discovered with myself. Like, you know, just enjoy the process, have fun, enjoy the journey, you know?
Yeah.
The fulfillment and the happiness comes in the process, you know?
Yeah.
That is very true.
And doing, you know, right? Just enjoy that, enjoy the moment. Stop looking so far ahead. Like, you need to have goals, you need to have objectives, you need to have like a destination, right? But don't overemphasize that. Don't just solely rely on those objectives and goals for your happiness and fulfillment because it's a never-ending chase and you're never going to be happy, you're never going to be fulfilled because there's always going to be, oh, you reached the goal, the next thing.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like when people say like, oh, how long will it take for me to dunk because, you know, I really want to dunk so bad, I'm going to be so happy when I dunk. But then you kind of have to tell them like, it's not, obviously like dunking for the first time is like amazing, but the actual journey of going from where you are to actually dunking, that's like the actual beauty of it, not the actual first dunk itself. I think a lot of people will actually do the whole dunking thing, starting from nothing and, you know, going to wherever they are. They see that and they actually, enjoy the process more than
I heard someone like Isaiah Rivera say on a podcast recently, like once he became the best in the world, dunking felt empty to him. Right? Because he ended, like he got to the final destination, he got to the final boss of being the best in the world. And what did it lead to? A lot of emptiness. This is nothing. Right?
Yeah.
And that proves my point and drives my point home. If you're just always chasing that, it's just never ending. Right? But that's where it's just kind of like, he learned to kind of just, you know, have fun with dunking, enjoy the process, try new dunks and all that sort of stuff, right? And you get better faster that way because you're having more fun, you're willing to try new things. You actually improve faster. It's funny how that works. And you end up being more fulfilled and happy.
It's like Jordan. Jordan got like so bored after a couple of championships. He ended up like, well, you guys probably know, like he started making stories up, just like in his own head.
Yeah.
To give him that like edge.
Yeah. So it's like the whole thing is a double-edged sword. You know, and that's where it's just important to have that level of self-awareness and to realize all these things.
Yeah.
That's just kind of a shift I've gone through as I've gotten older, and a thing I've learnt as I've gotten older as well. So.
Yeah, and you know, definitely one thing I wanted to mention on here, man, is that obviously I didn't mention it beforehand. What I should have mentioned is obviously I've got 3 disabled brothers, 2 that are non-verbal, 1 that is verbal. He's the oldest, 31 years old. And you know, I think one of the things that people tend to forget about is that, you know, sometimes it can get a bit emotional for me talking about this type of stuff, but, you know, if I'm going to just go all out of this podcast, I'm just going to go all out on it and just tell the truth and honesty behind it, you know, without giving too much away. But obviously, man, like, you know, when you go through 25 years of that, you know, just going through the same cycle over and over again, you know, doing these certain things that other, you know, families don't have to do. You know, our family went from the tallest points to the lowest points, and you know, we went through some difficult times. And one of the people that obviously I'm so proud about is my parents, you know, and it's one of those things that, like, you know, I've talked to you guys, we've had fights, we have arguments sometimes, And, one of the things that I never have enough gratitude for is just how strong my parents have been throughout these 25 to 30 years. Because I don't know what the hell half of the stuff that they would have to go through to make sure there's a roof over our head. And to make sure the rent was paid. Dad's still 61 years old, still having to do FIFO. He's still having to go 3-1 all the time. And then when I look at my brothers, I get frustrated sometimes, I get angry. And some days I do feel a little bit of a resentment. And, in my head, I think, like, I gotta leave, I gotta go. But then I can't. It's too tough because when you've manufactured and you've dedicated yourself to your family so long and for so much time in such an elongated period, there is a time where you will have to let go and you will have to live on your own. You will have to have some independency for yourself. But I think one of the things that allows me to have such a strength and resiliency behind physical activity, mental stuff, whenever life gets inside my way, is because of my family. Because what they had to go through is probably nothing in comparison to what I currently have to go through right now. And for me to just kind of throw in a flag, not to give it 100% of an effort or anything like that, is a disservice to my brothers, to my parents, to people that believed in us during our roughest of times as well. When I used to see mum very emotional and very sad, and through all these tough times with Ray as well, not having to have friends until he was about 31. And that's why when I do these Saturday basketball things at the Coburn Arc, that's the first time in about 31 years he's actually had some friends. And, it made me very emotional when I was on a walk with mum one time because, 31 years of not having anything, of any friends, and the only friends in your life is your brothers, and then 2 of them can't talk to you or can't say hello, hey, how you doing? That would hurt. I have you guys. I have friends and I have people around me that do care for me outside of my family. He doesn't, and that's sad. It hurts me a lot to kind of think that as well because, here's me complaining about certain things. Oh, I got a niggle on my knee. Owie. Oh, I didn't get much sleep last night. 6 hours of sleep instead of 8. Damn, that hurts. That sucks. And we complain about these small little issues in our lives, and they're our biggest problems for that day. But then somebody like Ray never gets a friend. The most basic thing that one of the most basic things, and the core foundations to having a human is a support system, just outside of the family itself. And here's me complaining about, an owie knee or an ankle doesn't feel right this morning. What the fuck am I to complain about?
Yeah.
Like, fuck me. That's my biggest issue for the day. Owie, got a bit of a knee issue. I've got to go help out my clients.
How did the knee issue come about? Because you were able to train.
Yeah, exactly. I was able to actually go to class and get to the gym.
Yeah.
That's privilege.
Yeah.
And then you get people going, oh yeah, I can't be buggered going to the gym today, because I'm a little bit tired. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. What is that shit?
Fuck, bro.
Yeah.
What is that crap? Seriously, you're tired? Oh bro, do you want a hanky chip with that? So you can cry and go boo-hoo? Your struggles ain't that. Yeah, do you want this? Do you want a medal?
Yeah.
Your difficulties are not as big as what you think they are. And I think that's one of the things that I'm very thankful for my family. It's definitely one of the biggest lessons that they've taught me. And yeah, obviously my mum is my biggest hero, man.
I rate that.
Sorry?
I rate that.
Yeah, and it's almost like Katie, she's like my real MVP.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And she's been the backbone to everything that I do. And so is my...
So I don't know how much we missed.
It just turned off.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think it's important that you need to really just give it an effort, man. You know what I mean? Give life an effort. Put some heart into it. Put some passion into it. Because one day, as I said, you're going to die, and then when you're inside your hospital bed, alongside people, you're going to have flashes of your life ahead of you. 80 plus years of your life ahead of you. Hopefully I can live up to that point, who knows, but 80 years of your life ahead of you just flashes like within 10 seconds, and then boom, that's it. That's it.
Yeah, that's
and
great.
you're worried about the small struggles. You're tired. Fucking Jesus, man.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like when you're at that point, like if I was just imagining myself dying tomorrow, all right, as deep as a question that is.
Yeah, but
like the regrets you would have are the things he didn't do or didn't try.
what's your legacy if you were to die tomorrow?
Yeah.
But what is it?
Well,
What is it?
that's a tough question, bro.
Yeah,
That's a tough question.
I'm putting it in the spot. What is it?
I think I've answered that question before, and what my whole objective of my life is to prove to people that no matter your circumstances and your position in life, like if you want something, you can achieve it, you can get it. So.
And I think you're doing a good job of that, man. I think you're doing well.
Yeah, I just want to prove that through action.
Yeah.
So.
How about yourself, Tom?
Pretty similar kind of thing. I wouldn't say I even have like 20% of a legacy built because it's so early.
Sure.
But like that's the goal.
Yeah.
Just doesn't matter where you start, sort of thing. Yeah. Just know what you want to do and go off and do it by any means possible.
Yeah. And I think people tend to forget, because we're so young, we've got plenty of life ahead of us for most of us. But, you know, for most of us, most of our legacy is already developed, right at 25. You know, people think like your legacy starts when you're 50 plus or anything like that. Your legacy gets enhanced when you're 50 plus. Once you leave at 25, right now, that's where the legacy's kind of starting up at that point. So you've got the foundations and the building blocks there, and then you just kind of build levels to that, like a house, right? So once you, obviously at that point where you do pass, you'd hopefully have a fully developed and well-structured house in place. And that house is your legacy. And then what's inside that house is all the stuff that you had to do to get to that foundational house and that developed house.
Yeah.
The furniture, the TV, the fridge,
Yeah.
PowerPoint, electricity, etc. Internet.
Family.
Family, exactly. Family, friends
Yeah.
as well. All of that is put inside your legacy, your house, right? So you always got to make sure that because when you have a legacy built and you have no one to share it with, it's sad and it's very, very lonely, man.
You know, if you think about it though, like in 100 years, heard Alex and Mosey say this. No one's going to
No one's going to remember you.
No one's going to remember and give a
Probably
fuck.
not. No.
So just do whatever the fuck you want.
That's
in your
exactly
life.
correct. I
That's what
actually
he
shared
says,
that.
right?
It's funny because I shared that with my buddy Mike. Because it was like something about Queen Elizabeth the second she passed, and that's like 7 months later you mention her. It's just like, oh yeah, the Queen. That's right. Yeah. But then like that's the Queen of a fucking monarchy. Imagine me or like anybody else. You pass. And this is very morbid as fuck, guys. So please don't take this on so literally, because then all of you guys will have a very doom appeal for the rest of your life. But like when you pass, you know, everyone's sad, everyone mourns you, remembers you for who you were and the good characteristics of you as a person. But then from that point onwards, 50 plus years from that point, probably your grandkids are going to be 80.
Yeah.
No, not your grandkids, but your kids would be about 80. Your grandkids would be about 30 plus.
True.
At a guesstimate, right? Then they're going to pass on. And one of the things that guys like Jordan and Ali and Kobe achieved that not a lot of humans could achieve is immortality. Now you may think that's absolutely wild.
Why? Because they're a legend.
Yeah, because you'll never, ever forget Michael Jordan or Muhammad Ali. You won't. You just won't. Somehow, some way, their names will be carried on. Even guys like fucking Bill Russell and Will Chamberlain in the 50s and the 60s,
Yeah, no shit.
they're still remembered. And we didn't even watch them. We didn't watch
Yeah,
Bill
but
Russell and Will.
that's not 100 years though.
Okay, but we still remember certain other individuals as well. From 100 years.
Yeah.
We still know Nikola Tesla.
I don't know who that is.
No, shit. You don't know Nikola Tesla. Damn. You don't know Nikola Tesla?
No.
Okay, Albert Einstein?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, well, you know Einstein.
Okay.
That's what, 80 years?
Yeah, there's someone that.
You won't forget Albert Einstein.
well, yeah.
I was gonna say I have a morbid as fuck one, but Hitler. It's nearly been 100 years. Nearly 20 years from 100 years. Everyone's
I mean, technically,
for the wrong
you're not
reasons.
wrong.
For the wrong reasons, but
Yeah, for the fucked up
So what
reasons.
you're saying is becomes super villain. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the one, mate. Become
I'm just
Thanos.
gonna become Darth Vader.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not, mate?
Kang.
Yeah, Thanos. Why
Yeah.
not? Just become Thanos the Conqueror, mate. Get a hybrid. Get a bit of a combo of Thanos and Kang at the same one. So you get Thanos the Conqueror.
That's too powerful, man.
That is OP shit
Yeah.
right there, man. That is OP stuff right there. But no, like I think one of the things that like it's crazy because like for me like life's dynamic, man. Do you know what I mean?
I reckon someone like Elon Musk will be like remembered for quite a while, depending.
Do you reckon Joe Rogan will be remembered?
Depending. Fuck that.
But he's the GOAT podcaster, mate. What the hell? He's the Michael Jordan of podcasting. He's gonna remember Joe Rogan.
Fuck, I don't know.
Exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of like, you would put Joe Rogan on the same spectrum as like some famous like actors in like the 70s and 80s that we wouldn't even know of.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So I'll probably end up like that. But like someone like Elon Musk, depends what he does. I think it depends what he does going forward.
If he puts people on Mars, then
Yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah, no one's going to forget that.
It's like on the cusp of being.
But you have to do some insane fucking shit to be remembered for hundreds of years, like world-changing shit.
Yeah, but could you imagine the will that it
And
takes
just being like at the top echelon of sports is not enough to be remembered for hundreds of years.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to change the sport or something. You have to like change the sport.
You have to do more than change the sport. Shaq changed the sport.
That's true. Curry did.
But like, Jordan built a brand. LeBron built a brand.
Yeah.
That's how you continue your legacy on.
Is there any brands that have lasted hundreds of years?
A Coke?
Coca-Cola?
That's been around for a while.
That's been about 100. Disney?
Yeah.
Disney's been 100.
Yeah.
Mind you.
Volvo.
Sorry?
Volvo.
That's it, mate. Volvo. Nike will be around for 100 years.
Yeah.
Small.
Yeah, it'll be ancient stuff, mate.
Yeah.
Imagine Air Jordans, 500 years. We're digging up archives, mate. Going into
Yeah, that's interesting.
archaeologists.
Yeah.
I think the digital businesses like Netflix and all that, they won't be because of technology just forever. Unless they just keep revolutionizing.
Oh, it will close down at some point.
You know, unless they keep doing that, then they
It's
won't.
like Blockbuster, bro. Everyone would have been like, "Oh, Blockbuster's forever," but
Yeah, but if
Just one
Blockbuster created the first streaming service, or not the first, but like the first mainstream streaming service. No, did they? You're a fucking idiot, bro.
Blockbuster.
No, you're an idiot. No, I'm saying if they did, if Blockbuster created like a Netflix, then they would still be around. Like they kept revolutionizing and creating things, right? Then they would be still around, right? But
What the fuck is
it's
Netflix
very
doing
hard-
that's revolutionary at this moment, though?
huh?
What's Netflix actually technically doing revolutionary-wise? They're
Netflix
just putting up
No, nothing. No.
They're just putting up more movies. Like
No, nothing. But I'm saying if they keep doing it, like they create the next thing, the next thing, the next thing.
Oh, sure. Okay, yeah.
You know, it's like Apple. Apple might eventually die when something else bigger comes along.
Ooh, I don't know. It's an interesting thing to actually think about Apple. Because like, how many?
Well, it's
iPhones
like back in the early 2000s, or would people think Nokia would die? Probably not, but they did because Apple came along.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you remember BlackBerry and BlueBerry phones?
Barely though.
I know exactly.
Yeah.
But that was the jam back in the mid 2000s. Was BlackBerry phones, and you had like a fucking computer thing.
Bro, most of our audience, most of our audience will probably be listening to this. What the fuck this guy's talking about?
True, yeah. Because if you're like 15, 16, that's like
you wouldn't
10 years
have a clue.
difference.
Yeah.
Like.
I'm sounding so old right now.
So what?
God.
We're 25, bro.
Oh
Yeah.
Do you remember Big Brother?
Yeah.
Chad said-
That's
That's like it's still around. You know?
I know, but still, that was Gaz a wheelchair.
Bro,
Get off my lawn, boy.
That's like going. Do you remember The Simpsons? Like,
Oh yeah, bro. Never did.
no.
Nah. I remember a show called
Or Friends.
Sorry.
Or Friends.
Fuck Friends. Overrated.
You like Friends?
Shut the fuck up.
No, it is. It's overrated as
I'd
fuck.
say
It's a good show. Good
overrated.
show.
I can see your take. I can see your take.
Good show,
Yeah.
but it's overrated. I love the opening credits though. The opening credits is Gigachads as hell. Just that song.
That's a hot take.
It's iconic as hell.
That's a hot take. It's overrated.
It is overrated though. It's alright. It's nothing special. How I Met Your Mother was overrated as well. How I Met Your Mother was overrated.
Yeah, I can back that.
But that's
I
like
reckon
people.
South
That's like
Park-
people going Star Wars is overrated.
It's not. Nah. It isn't. I'd say it's properly rated.
No, but I can see people saying it's overrated because someone now, knowing the legacy and the heritage Star Wars has, goes on with Star Wars, they'll probably watch it and think it's something special.
Star Trek's.
But it was something special in the fucking 80s.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Or in the cinemas in 1999 when.
Oh, Phantom Menace came. That would have been wild, bro. Imagine that.
I wish I was born.
That would have been crazy to be back in '99.
Well, it's like the Avengers, bro. And the Avengers came out when fucking Infinity War and Endgame came out. That was like, holy fuck shit.
When you left the cinema after Infinity War, you're like,
That's wild.
Yeah, I remember, bro. No other movie fucking left me like that. I've never left the cinema feeling like that.
Those are still the best cinema experiences I've ever had. Was Infinity War and Endgame. That was epic.
Even Avatar, the first Avatar was fucking amazing when it came out.
Yeah, that's true. Avatar.
When it first came out, I was like,
CGI wise or just like story wise?
everything. I just thought it was amazing.
You thought the whole film was amazing?
Yeah,
Really?
I was a kid when I first watched it. Though.
Okay, fair call. I thought
This
it
was
was pretty.
2009, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was 12.
But no one's remembering Jake Scully. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking no one's going, oh yeah, Jake Scully's an iconic character.
No, but I remember leaving the cinemas watching Avatar when I was 12. But holy fuck, there's nothing else like this.
True. Because obviously you're 9 years old, you know.
And even if you think the story is like, you know,
the story's okay. It's alright.
it's okay. It's still
It's watchable.
one of the
It's still
highest grossing films of all time.
Yeah.
Second, right? After
Titanic. Oh,
It's
Endgame.
higher than Titanic.
Titanic's fucking mid. No, that's a mid film. It's mid as fuck.
Swim, bro. Like, I mean,
Just go to the fucking shore, you soft cock.
Yeah,
Swim, bro. Like shit. You're an
that's
asshole.
that's a situation where you don't want to be shredded, bro. When you're on the Titanic.
I don't like Titanic as a film. I really don't.
No, because you're way more likely to fucking die, bro, been in the ocean at the end of Titanic.
Oh yeah, of course.
yeah.
Because you're shredded. Whereas if you're like fat, you're more likely to float, right?
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about like shredded being like the boat engines like shredding you up or something like that. I was like, what the fuck are you on about, bro?
No.
What is...
Imagine sizzling
No,
on cold
but that's
water.
the
You'd be
situation.
fucked, mate.
No, but that's the situation on Titanic. Where if you're shredded, I can't believe we're talking about this on the podcast. But if you're shredded, you're more likely to die. But if you're higher in body fat, you're more likely to survive.
True.
You can stay warmer
On
longer.
your back and shit?
But I just think of seals, bro. How much flubber they have. There's a reason.
Is that fat
No.
shaming or...
Hey,
No.
Fat shaming?
bro, that's like the opposite of fat shaming.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations on your fat, by the way.
So you're more likely to survive in
You're not
a fucking extreme survival situation.
The issue is though, if the guys, let's say the individual's fat, right? They're trying to grab onto that iceberg. You're fucked. Because what if there's no one on the ice? What if there's no one on the fucking ice block and he's trying to pull this shit down and it's tilting? So
Bro,
no
you
fucking
think you're
can
gonna
hold on
climb up on an ice block though? Have you ever tried to like?
there. Oh, that would be brutal as hell, bro.
Yeah.
That would be brutal. Imagine that, you're slipping, you're trying to grab onto it, and then this thing's trying to flip in diagonal position, and then because you can't hold onto it because your grip strength's piss weak and you didn't train, you're dead. See you later. You wouldn't want to be here. You're fucking down at the bottom water like Jack is, mate. Rest in peace to Jack. But yeah, it's still a mid film. In my opinion, it's fucking mid.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. I just don't get it. Like it's almost 3 hours long, just to see this love story.
Is it that
That
long?
no, yeah, it's a 3-hour film.
Fuck me.
Just about a boat crashing down
Yeah.
with a.
Yeah, but it has one of the most famous movie lines of all time.
I'm the king of the world.
No, it has another one as well.
What one?
Which one?
Oh, paint me like one of your French girls.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
And the scene, the fucking... At the front of the boat.
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
the one that is
Yeah.
on the hands and
Yeah.
shit like that. And then like that violin shit as well, where they're going down and the guys are like staying on the boat to die. They're just like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
and they're all
Yeah.
sad and stuff like. They're playing a somber fucking beat, mate.
Yeah.
Everyone's going inside rafts and shit like that. Oh, we're all gonna die. We're all gonna make it, bro. Time to die. See you later.
Yeah.
But no, like Endgame and Infinity War, you can't beat that as a movie experience. Because there were so many people. I remember we went to Endgame. That was cooked.
No, but I think those movies
Packed
are
it.
like. I think those movies are like our generation Star Wars.
Yeah, I see that. I see that.
Yeah.
I see that. I can see that. But yeah, like, I mean, I don't know, man. Like, another one as well. Like, The Force Awakens was an interesting one as well when I went to go see that. Because there were so many people that said everyone was excited. Star Wars was back. So that everyone was
Yeah.
packed into the
I really
cinema.
enjoyed watching The Force Awakens.
Yeah, so yeah, I thought it was fun as hell.
Okay.
I
Set
loved it.
up a real good 2 more movies.
Oh, no.
And then the 2 more movies like, oh fuck, shit the bed.
Oh no, I remember coming out of The Last Jedi. It was before basketball. I was with a mate. It was like a Saturday morning. It was at Points in Garden City. Walked in there and I was like, fuck, you want to see The Last Jedi? Because the trailers were techers. So I was excited for this film. I was like, we're going to get to see Snoke more. Kylo Ren's going to be a Gigachad in this film. You know, Rey's going to be like kind of starting to learn her powers. Luke's going to be there, you know, and all that stuff. And then I don't give a fuck the spoilers. Who cares? It's been
No,
about-
they just fucked up. They just fucked up because they made 3 individual movies rather than
Succinct.
splitting one movie into 3, which is basically like what Lord of the Rings is.
Okay, I see that. I see what you mean. Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's like what Lord of the Rings is, or The Hobbit wasn't as amazing, but that's another example.
Yeah.
What's another scenario?
But they had different directors for each one.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I know, that's
It's trying to make 3 different movies fit in together to make one story, but it just doesn't work. So they fucked it up from the start.
Yeah, and then every single director has a different vision for that
Yeah,
individual
exactly.
movie.
Yeah.
So the succinct.
So it needs to be like, the trilogies that work, one director, one vision, and they're all filmed around the same time.
Exactly, that's true as well. That's why the Avatar could be something legendary.
It could, yeah.
Like five films you're getting from this franchise, right? And if James Cameron is going all in on this thing, which obviously seems like he is, like imagine like 5 succinct, unique, different stories.
Bro,
it all fits into 5.
Bro, the fucking arcs they could have in Avatar.
Would be wild. It'd be wild.
The character arcs.
Yeah. Except for that little kid, man. That little kid was a fucking brat, bro. Seriously, he was a brat. He was being a contrarian, disobeying Jake for the sake of it.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude, fuck
that sets up a good arc.
It does, but he's just a fucking brat, and I can't stand it. Like, he's just a brat.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh yeah, Jake, don't do this. Okay, I'm going to do the opposite of what you say. And it's like, don't do that again, Jake says.
Have you seen Clone Wars?
Wait, interesting.
I have.
Yeah.
So that's how everyone felt about Ahsoka at the start. Everyone fucking hated her.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true.
Like,
Yeah. Yeah, but there's some of the best character arcs when you start off hating a character and you end up loving them.
That is true. That is true.
You know?
I mean, everyone hated Darth Maul when he started because he just said nothing. And he did nothing.
no, he's
Now everyone loves him. Same with Count Dooku. Everyone hated Dooku when he started. Because he was just a cuck. He was just like some political aristocrat.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, ooh, fucking Dooku. He's old. He's a boomer. But then all of a sudden in Clone Wars, he's like this absolute badass separatist.
You know, in storytelling, right? Have you heard of the hero's journey?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Have you heard of the hero's 2 journeys?
Heroes 2's
Because that's what a lot of movies are based on, right? If you look at the Amazing Spider-Man, right? Oh, not the Amazing Spider-Man, sorry. What is it? Spider-Man is the Spider-Verse, right? There's the hero's journey in that movie. But then there's also a second journey, the hero's 2 journeys, right? And the hero's journey is like the general story, right? You know? But the second journey is who the character starts at the start of the movie and then who they become at the end of the movie. So there's really 2 stories in most of these great movies.
Yes.
It's like Luke in Star Wars, who he started as and who he became at the end of Star Wars.
Yeah.
little whiny teen.
Yes.
Yeah, true. He was a bit of a brat to start off with, eh?
Yeah, and then who did he become in the end? He became this fucking wisdom.
Epic Jedi Knight.
Yeah,
Although
epic
in
Jedi Knight.
episode 8 he was a bit of a beta. Just Suki.
Honestly,
No,
I
but that
reckon
doesn't count, bro. It's episode 8.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, no,
Star Wars.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I got a hot take about episode 8.
Yeah.
I thought it was an average film. I didn't really love it. It grows off me like every time I hear about it or watch it. So I don't love the film, but I reckon Luke's sacrifice is one of the most Gigachad Jedi things you can ever do. That sacrifice was fantastic. It's such a Luke thing to do, in my opinion. Outside of that, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Luke's character. Didn't enjoy it.
I need to rewatch fucking those.
The Rise of Skywalker was trash. I hated that film.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you need to bring Palpatine back? Like, bro, come on.
For more money, bro.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
You bring him back an 85-year-old boomer clone.
No, then yeah.
It's so pathetic. It was so silly.
Yeah, no.
It was bad. Oh yeah, but before anything else, I want to hear just from you two as well. This was a question I've had it in my mind for a few months now. What are the most overrated exercises in the gym? It's a bit of a random question, but just overrated exercises in general.
Overrated?
Yeah, just out of curiosity. I was just keen to hear.
Overrated?
I reckon trap hard deadlifts are overrated.
Yes.
Thank you. Fuck
I
yes.
agree.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't hate trap bar deadlifts. I think they're good, but fuck me, they're so overrated. They are. They are overrated as hell. Just do a barbell deadlift. That'd be soft.
Does
It
it
doesn't
easy
mean
to
no.
teach?
Yeah, I think so. I think just
Yeah.
coaches
no
always
risk.
want to bail out and not teaching a client to do something. But sometimes that can be a smart thing for a coach to do. If you're just like cut on time, you can't be bugger going through a loaded queue all the way through. It's like, okay,
If you have
coach.
if you have a basketball team for 6 weeks, none of them know how to deadlift. Maybe
Yeah,
then you would, yeah.
Then you just put a trap bar deadlift, just for the sake of easiness, right?
Yeah.
And technique. What the issue is I have with the trap bar deadlift, a lot of people, particularly individuals with short femurs, can make it such a quad dominant lift by staying insanely upright in it. And it's like, that's not a fucking deadlift. That's a squat / deadlift at that point.
It's basically a
Upright block.
what is it? A pin squat.
Yeah, from pins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels like an upright block pull.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that's
that's what it
basically
feels
what a trap bar deadlift is. It's
Yeah.
a pin squat.
Pretty much.
So.
But then because some people could stay so upright and vertical in it, they're like, oh yeah, why isn't my erectors growing? And it's like, well, no shit, because you're not going under a barbell and actually hip hinging.
No loading,
Yeah,
mate.
facts.
Yeah, and they go, oh, my quads are overdeveloping, not developing my glutes through the hip hinge. I'm doing a hip hinge pattern.
Yeah.
Why are my glutes not lengthening out and developing?
I know another overrated exercise. Tom's not gonna like this. Bench press.
I agree. I think bench press is overrated. I do. Barbell flat, I think it's overrated.
For hypertrophy and strength. No.
Well, unless you're a powerlifter, and you have to bench. Yeah.
Yeah, but if you like doing it, that's fine. Like, that's not an issue.
Just for
Like
there's
you,
nothing wrong
you
with
like
it.
benching.
There's nothing wrong with doing it.
Yeah,
and it'll get you very good results, but
It's not optimal, mate.
huh?
It's not optimal. It doesn't get the line of the pectoral muscles.
Yeah.
Oh, not the fucking iliac.
Iliac lat pull downs. We had to mention at one point in this fucking podcast. Get on iliac lat pull downs.
But there's an argument for every exercise being overrated.
I agree.
There's an argument for every exercise being overrated.
I think back squat you could argue for being overrated.
It's just like tools and toolbox, bro.
That's it. Yeah. Other tools can do the job. It depends on the job though.
True.
Yeah. So you just need different
Yeah.
tools.
Exactly.
I'm getting tib raises still.
Tib raises
In the dumb community specifically though. Because it seems to be like a fucking pill.
Nah, that's a Ben Patrick. Sorry, that's Ben Patrick's fault. Don't at me. That's the Over Toast guy's fault. I love him. I reckon his marketing's fucking genius. Genius marketer. Genius marketer. Gotta admire him for that. But his philosophies and what he's kind of made out of the ATG now, I hate it. I think it's rubbish.
I wouldn't know, I'm blocked, bro.
Because it went from ATG split squatting to some Nordics, a little bit of tib raises, a bit of hip flex work. Mm-hmm. Now it's like, okay, let's work on the shoulder, let's work on your biceps and your elbow health, and it's like, okay, I don't know if I agree with this and how you're kind of going about it, but you got to market, you got to make a bag, so I kind of get it. You know what I mean? You got to expand upon it. Squat University, same thing. Fucking not good at all. I don't like Squat University at all. Sorry. A lot of you guys go, oh, what's wrong with Squat University? He's just a cuck. Sorry, I hate his protocols.
Yeah, so you gotta elaborate.
Yeah, okay, well, I'll elaborate now. I think he's got I think the issue with Squat... Dude, that fucking smile. Every time you smile like that, bro, I try not to laugh. I don't know what it is, bro.
Let's go.
It's just that laugh, man. It hits different, mate. But anyway, trying to act all serious now. I think what the issue with Squat University is that he, in places, it instills a lot of fear into movement and exercise. So, for example, if somebody spinal flexes a little bit on the deadlift, like guys like Squat U, because he has such a massive following, it's like, nah, that's a no-go. Neutral spine all the way through. You gotta make sure you're adapting the tissues in the disc. Otherwise, your fucking spine's snapping off the bone if anything with a spinal flexion. And it's like, shut the fuck up.
And that's where you sent me a video of Tom Barnes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the fucking one bloke that gives you a whole fucking essay.
Yeah.
Dude, that's not how you run your fuck up. Seriously, you cuck.
Yeah, no, it's like, Lockie, Lockie, you guys know Lockie?
Lockie.
Lockie Wilkinson. He sent me a video of, you know his max deadlift he posted the other day?
Yeah.
Yeah? Like, it's good, right?
Oh, it was a good lift.
He actually, after that, hit a higher number, 160.
Okay, yeah.
Right? But he didn't post it because he thought his form wasn't that good and he was posting it too much.
Come on.
And I'm like, bro, like literally you're doing a fucking RPE 10 lift and your spine's just flexing a little bit. It's not excessive. Bro, that's fine.
Yeah,
Post it.
It is perfectly fine.
Post it. You know, my spine flexes a bit, right? When I go for a max 10 deadlift, right? But the problem is if your spinal position is changing as you're lifting. Mm-hmm. That's the problem. If you start a little bit flexed and it stays a little bit flexed the entire time,
it's perfectly fine.
I know there's arguments with some people, some coaches argue that's actually a little bit more optimal.
I'd agree. Right?
But the issue is if you're losing the tightness, you're losing the rigidity through your lumbar spine, your thoracic spine, your upper spine, right? That's where the issue arises, if you're losing that rigidity, that tension, that tightness, right? But if you're fighting to maintain that and your spine flexes just a tiny bit, that's acceptable, guys. Especially if it's a max lift.
Yeah.
Now, the other argument is, depending on your goals, do you need to max lift, right? If you're a dunker, do you need to max lift?
In my opinion, no.
No, you don't. You don't really need to. The only reason you'll do it is because of ego and for fun.
Yeah.
You know, for fun, right? It's fucking fun as fuck maxing.
Oh, it is.
Let's be real.
It is.
You know, I say this, I've maxed, you've maxed, you maxed, everyone maxes. We all know it's like, we don't need to do it. But we like to do it because we're fucking men.
Yeah, and we're soft cocks. So,
yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's just an ego boost as well. Sometimes we need a little bit of an ego boost here and there, and I don't think there's anything
Which brings me to the point of a cool story. Right, this guy, man, legendary story from this guy, bro. Like, I remember being at Revo Fitness. Was I maxing that day? Did I max that day or was it just you?
No, it's just...
I think I was just training, right? I was just training, and then I found out Mr. AP is maxing his deadlift. Right? He's telling me we're going for 200, right?
It was funny because actually before I got inside that gym, I actually saw Lockie. And I was like, and he's like, what are you doing today? I was like, I'm getting a 200 kilo deadlift today.
Yeah.
And I called it.
Yeah. So, yeah, you're going for 200. I remember just training and then waiting around because I knew you were going for 200. And I just seen you, man, just pacing around, full going like demon mode, full fucking Batman Batcave mode, just full with the LeBron, game 6 like in Miami fucking finals, like I sort of, look, giving me those sort of like game 6.
Oh, okay, yeah, let's move with the story.
I'm just setting up the story. Come on, all right? I'm just setting up the story. Setting up the scene, right? So it's giving us like game 6 fucking Miami 2011 fucking 2010, 2011 fucking Miami LeBron sort of looks, right? It's pacing around, warming up, you're going through your warm up, right? You're doing conventional deadlift, right?
Yeah.
So you're getting all hyped. Right, I'm pretty sure you yell, you scream.
That one, I did.
Yeah, alright, you scream, you're getting all hyped, bro. Everyone in the gym's looking at this guy. Right? Like a big fucking silverback gorilla looking motherfucker going for 200. Right? You are, bro, your posterior chain. He's doing conventional, he starts to pull conventional, right? And it's moving slowly, right? You get it halfway up and you start like shimmering, right? And then you drop it, you fail it. Right? And I can see the look in your eyes. You're like really saddened by that. You're actually a little bit demoralized from that.
Yeah.
Right? Now, like, I had to come up to you, have a little bit of chat.
You did.
Like, fuck this, bro. You can get this, man. I was talking to you. I was literally like, I told you, because I think a week before that, I hit a deadlift PR. I hit 210, which is all-time deadlift PR for myself. And I told you, right? Literally how I hit that PR was I pretended I had fucking children. Pretended like I was a father and had children, and I was lifting a fucking car up off my children. Right? I genuinely convinced myself in that moment that's what was happening, and I got 210 easy. Right? And I told you that. Right? And then you were like, fuck this, I'm switching to sumo. 5-10 minutes later, right? I don't know, there was something different about you. I could see it in your eyes. There was something different about you. Your mentality, right? Your willingness not to give up. Your tenacity, your determination, right? This motherfucker switches to fucking sumo on the same day and pulls 200.
That's some cold shit right there.
That is some fucking hard motherfucking shit right there.
That is.
Bro, that's a story I'm gonna remember for a long time. I think that's, in my eyes, bro, that's legendary. That's a fucking cool story. It's funny, legendary, and a badass story in my opinion.
It is a badass story.
I love telling people that about you.
I know.
So, yeah.
There's been a lot of cold stories I've got inside my bag. There was one where I was like, it was New Year's Day and I was hungover as fuck. I was like, I couldn't even get out of the fucking house. And then Mike was like, okay, we've got to do an 800 meter lunch today. And I was like, you're fucking crazy. And it was about 39 degrees. And the humidity at this area specifically was about 60 to 70%. So it was hot. And I got an 800 meter PR that day. And it was about 14 minutes and 10 seconds.
Fuck yeah.
That was I reckon that's one of my more toughest stories as well.
Oh, yeah.
And then the 100 kilometer assault bike ride that I did as well. And then another one, I reckon this
David Goggins, ladies and gentlemen, the fucking Western Australian Aaron Goggins, bro.
I reckon my coldest one though is when I had a fractured toe. It was a Saturday, I'm pretty sure. And I think you boys were there, but you didn't really.
So we got,
you were kind of doing your own thing.
Yeah.
And then I was in a moon boot with my fractured toe, and I actually got on the rower. Didn't train up for it, and I just did 21 kilometers on the rower for 2 hours.
So we got
in the moon boot.
So we got Aaron Goggins, we got Tom Wills, like Larry Wills.
And like I don't know what, I think it was on that day when I had my earphones in, you said what you said, so I was like, okay, I gotta switch it up.
Yeah.
I gotta switch up the mentality, because with deadlift for me, it's war.
Bro, like that was like a legendary time, but another legendary time was when Tom pulled 300. Like fuck, I'm so glad I saw you pull 300.
You weren't even going to be there because you had a client, but you literally said to the client.
No, I moved a client because I found out you're deadlifting to be there for you.
Yeah, I think you had a client before, but they meant to be.
And I filmed it and all, but bro, when I saw it, bro, holy fuck, bro, like the energy, like the fucking raw emotion, holy fuck, bro. Holy fuck, bro! Like it's just like I don't even know how to word it, bro. Just the emotion, like the raw fucking, just
because you were filming
like
in front.
I don't even know the words to describe what I saw when you pulled 300.
You see, that's my biggest regret with
Like-
our friendship is not me showing up for your 300 kilo deadlift.
Yeah, you're a fucking cunt.
I know, that was bad.
We didn't even know each other
I
that well, bro.
No, but like still, we were getting to know each other pretty decently pretty quickly as well.
No, but
Like,
it's right.
pretty
You're gonna do it again.
No, he's going 305 next time.
Yeah, you're gonna go through it.
I'm doing 300 belters.
No, but it'd be. Bro, you're gonna have to tell. You're gonna have to tell. You're gonna have to tell Cassie to break up with you.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to tell Cassie to break up with you a month before.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On the bar and shit.
I was gonna say, are you gonna?
Or I'm just gonna have to be like, nah, I'm pulling out a JumpX or something. Something.
Oh, joining ATG.
Yeah.
Joining Ben Patrick.
Yeah.
I'm starting, mate. I was gonna say, are you gonna try and go 280 first and then 290 then 300, or are you gonna just go 280 then 300?
I don't know yet. Play it by ear. That's the thing with this injury. I'm just playing it however it goes. Don't want to like.
Yeah, there's no rush.
Yeah,
you don't
no
need to
rush.
rush.
I mean, you proved you could pull off.
It'll be up to
No
the
need
camp
to-
anyway.
There's no need to rush. You're
Yeah.
better off just not rushing and hitting it like easily, like an RP9.
Bro, could you imagine this
Yeah,
fucking
you
guy
know?
goes to fucking Salt Lake City, pulls
Yeah.
300 at Salt Lake City, then goes jumping the next day?
Yeah.
That would be fucking cool.
Fuck deadlifting in America though. Like, imagine you injure yourself.
Get on Planet
No, but
Fitness,
the
mate.
thing is, the weight's actually a little bit more because it's in pounds.
Oh.
So like 3 plates is actually like, isn't it like 142.5 or something?
Yeah,
No,
so
yeah,
7 plates is like 306 kgs
Yeah.
instead of 300.
Yeah,
That'd be some cold shit right there.
It's
306,
stupid.
mate.
So we need to keep that in mind when we actually train that. Because we're gonna like at least
It's
train.
not like we're gonna be maximum,
yeah, I know, but we're gonna at least train once there, right?
Fuck yeah.
Just for the novelty, just because it's cool.
Yeah.
And
Just
it's
go to
like
the gym.
high altitude as well.
Are we gonna go to LA Fitness and train?
Go to
I
Planet
think they
Fitness,
have one in
mate.
Utah.
Yeah.
Go to Planet Fitness.
Yeah,
And then drop the weights.
No, but we're gonna be in LA for one night.
I'll go to
They're
Muscle
there for like
Beach.
6 hours.
LA Fitness dunk session.
No, go to Muscle Beach. Muscle Beach. Imagine that shit.
No, bro, we're not fucking bodybuilders. We're dunkers.
Yeah, but who gives a shit? You
We're
should
gonna
train
go
like
to LA
that.
Fitness and dunk on 9.9.
He trains like a bodybuilder.
We're gonna go to LA
Right.
Fitness and dunk on 9.9. Yeah.
Well, apparently we already dunked at 9.9 according to the
Oh yeah, apparently.
According to our TikTok.
Yeah.
TikTok, Instagram.
No, but we-
YouTube's not that bad for it, to be
Oh,
honest.
we need tomorrow when we dunk, we're gonna measure the rim. Like we're gonna have legit.
on film, and then we're gonna keep the camera rolling, and we're all gonna fucking dunk on it.
Yeah.
That's it, mate. And even
Yeah.
AP's going to come out of nowhere.
Yeah, but we need to do it.
Yeah.
We need to do
Yeah.
it. We need to do it when we're all warm.
Yeah.
So we'll measure when we're all warm, and then we'll do like a dunk train.
Yeah.
We'll do it. That'll be an epic video, a dunk train.
This is for people who say we don't dunk on.
So I'll just do like a backboard lob, just dunks we know we can all hit. You know, staple. I don't know. You just do fucking a
I don't
windmill.
want worth first go. Imagine that though.
No, we
Yeah.
gotta get that video.
Yeah.
Okay, a bit of a weird question though. Like, I'm not a JumpX athlete technically, right? But if I were to come down to your Saturday sessions, would you guys be welcoming for me to come down?
Technically, we don't want.
Fuck.
We
yeah.
can't.
Oh, fuck it, that's
Doesn't
fine.
matter how close the friend is. You have to be a JumpX athlete now.
That's alright, Chad. Alright. That's all good. I'll go to the other side of the basketball courts and just be like, let's go,
You can
boys!
be there.
Yeah.
You can be there to support, but not dunk.
Yeah, I'm not going to dunk. No.
Yeah, we have to be very strict with that.
System.
We have to be very strict with that because there's friends of his that can't come anymore.
Yeah.
Because we need to be very strict on the
They're
numbers.
probably very salty about that.
Because we can't. Because if we let you in, and other people go.
Yeah, no, you're going to keep the same
Aaron
standard
in.
to everybody. I get that. That's
Yeah.
fine. Yeah, 100%.
So that's.
Should we
all
give these
for it.
people context for what
Nah.
we're talking about?
Yeah.
I think it's
So
a quick backstory.
basically, we just our dunk sessions on a Saturday are getting so big now. It was just getting too claustrophobic, too many dunkers. It was fucking around. It was getting dangerous, right? So we've had to restrict our local dunk sessions on a Saturday to JumpX athletes only, so it limits the amount of people that are coming, so there's no issues, and we can actually have productive practices.
Yeah, because I know some of the boys, when I was talking to them afterwards, were getting pretty pissed about it. They seemed very upset, so I was like, yeah, just talk to Tom and Austin, see how they think of it,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Because I fucking talked to Eddie, he was pissed. He was fucking. I've never seen Eddie that angry because he's always happy. He's always fucking Gigachad as hell. Always dropping those handsome PRs, mate.
He's a handsome Asian.
He is not homo, but he is a handsome Asian, mate.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no. So I was talking to him on Saturday, and I was talking to Sam as well, and I was like, it's good to meet some of the JumpX athletes, you know, get to know the whole crew and everything like that. Mate. The one who does it between the legs.
Jumpman Sam.
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a savage, and he's pretty jacked as well, mate.
He's handsome.
He is. Dude, his fucking wingspan is like Rajon Rondo shit, bro. Like, he's got a wingspan that fucking comes down to his
Same
calves.
reach as Austin.
Sorry?
Oh,
It's
is
the
this?
same
Have we
reach.
got the same reach?
That's cool.
It's funny
Yeah,
because I look
he's like
I look
short.
taller than him.
What's your
I
weight?
swear I look taller than him in
I
video.
think you are taller than him. I think he's 6'3", 6'2".
Oh, yeah, he's 6'2".
But he's got
6'2".
longer arms, so that's why the reach works.
Oh,
really the same.
okay.
Yeah, I think actually it's just
Yeah,
short.
okay.
What's your reach?
8'4".
It is the same.
8'4".
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's your wingspan?
That's without shoes. 8'4" without shoes.
Oh, these might be with. Because we did it on the testing day, he did it with.
Actually, no. Last time I tested, I did do it with shoes. Because
You
I was
did?
testing, yeah.
Okay then.
So,
What's your wingspan? Do you know? About 6'6", 6'7"?
Fuck knows. I think it's 2 meters.
Okay, so yeah, about 6'6". I was
It's
gonna
longer.
say.
It's my wingspan is taller than my height. I think it's 6'6".
Yeah, that means you have an above average wingspan.
That's normal. That's normal though. That's normal for your wingspan to be longer
Yeah,
than
it
your
is.
height.
It is.
So,
Now, because like Sam's wingspan, man, like his hands almost come down to like his calves, man. Like he's got long. In my opinion,
he's got a deadlift build. That's why he deadlifts so much.
But yeah, it's just his wingspan. His
Huh?
arms are so
What is
long,
this
man.
deadlift?
250 for. Isn't it for reps?
Damn! What?
I swear. It's for like 3. 250 for
I
3.
think I've seen him do 220.
I think that's what he told me.
That's wild, man. That's wild.
He was a rugby player. Keep in mind.
I know. Yeah, he told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Very
crazy.
strong.
He's a big man. He's a big boy. He's a
And
big
he
boy.
front squats like 130.
40. For 3, like up
That's
7.
fucked.
He literally made it look like nothing.
Not 34.
Fucked.
3. Front squat.
That's not big.
Would you say we jump?
But
Would you
for
say?
his height.
Would you say him and I jump around the same height?
Ooh.
Because when we do height checks, it looks like we do.
That's what I'm thinking, yeah.
I reckon he's
You know?
probably equal in terms of height.
But I swear he looks a little bit bouncier than me when he does normal dunks. What do you
He's
reckon?
just built different, mate.
The way he jumps so different though, it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because mine's a bit like textbook. Right? A little bit more.
He's got very good between the legs technique. But you do
Yeah.
it different ways though.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I have to get you both on the vertex and see.
Yeah, when he e-spade though, it was very efficient.
Oh, bro was like...
He's getting his hand like the same level I am at, but he just put the ball in.
Yeah.
Whereas I haven't put the fucking ball in.
Feel that.
Like I could have e-spade right now. Like I could have been e-spade by now, but I just haven't been efficient enough.
Technique, yeah.
You know? I'm just fucked.
Hell yeah, man. That's good.
So I just suck at putting the ball in.
Yeah, you just shit.
Yeah, I'm just shit. Just shit at dunking.
Just got some.
Gotta watch your own post.
Yeah, I know,
I
right?
know, you're watching too much of these TikTok and Instagram workouts, bro.
Yeah,
And you gave them X's this morning, bro.
Bro, fuck, yeah, dude. That's literally my session today, but off TikTok.
Quick
literally.
vertical jump workout?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah, that was about, what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, no. It was about 2 hours, just plyos only.
Oh, that's basic.
Box
Yeah.
jump. 2 hours of box jumps.
Yeah, just box jumps, yeah.
Yeah,
Box jumps with cardio?
Yeah.
Bro, imagine being a grown adult doing sets of 10 after your leg sessions on box jumps. Like, come on, bro. If you're doing box, I'm going to tell you fuckers right now. If you're doing box jumps for sets of 10 to 15 reps as your final leg exercise or your finisher, you're a cuck. Man or woman. Alright? That's what I'm going to say.
Cold
right
take.
now. Sorry?
Cold take.
That is a cold take. It is a cold take. Do not do box jumps. Box jumps are just a mid-plyometric exercise anyway.
They're not pliers, technically.
Oh, yeah, because you're not getting elastic contact
Yeah.
off the ground. True. That doesn't have much repeatability either.
Mid-exercise, bro.
Yeah, it's just a bit of fucking exercise. They're okay if you want to try to get some triple extension going, I suppose. But that's it.
Rehab.
For rehab, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. That's it. Outside that, you're a healthy dude. No issues at this point in time. You don't need box jumps.
Go have a dunk session, bro.
Sorry?
Go have a dunk session instead.
Yeah, because that's going to have the better carryover, right?
Yeah.
But what I like...
Low rim dunk session, boy.
But what I like about jumping sessions as well is that you're training the specificity of actually jumping towards the constraint,
Yeah.
which is a rim.
You know, I wish I was healthy enough to low rim every day.
That'd be right. I mean, it's not a bad idea. It's not stupid.
Bro, I'm like tempted to low rim like 3 times a week.
You could, if you just build up to it.
Just build up.
Yeah.
Yeah, take some
You
time.
may as well before you dunk camp.
And actually do some cardio, you know.
This is going to be a very good idea for my next cycle.
Bro, we were doing fucking elevated cardio in Utah. At the,
Just gets the mask on, starts running.
Fuck that.
yeah. Well, actually, it is at elevation, you know.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I don't know how high.
I don't know. I can't assume.
Yeah.
I reckon.
You said, that's another topic we need to talk about. You said you come into dunk camp in the Facebook group next to us.
Oh,
What's that about?
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did. I did say-
AP.
Are you tapping or fucking what?
I mean, look. If I had the money, I could probably go right now. If I wanted to.
So if you had the money.
If I have the money, I'd probably get some tickets like for next year and go. Yeah, 100%. I'd come with you guys. Yeah. For sure. Why wouldn't I?
You would?
Even if it's a roadie. Yeah. Just to support.
Okay. Well, then why don't you come?
Because I'm a pussy.
Fair enough.
Well, then, don't say you're going to come.
Yeah, did
If you're not actually going to do it.
He probably looked at the guy. He's like, oh, whoa,
No, it'd be sick,
he's
bro.
coming.
No, it'd be sick. Yeah, it would be sick.
Yeah, no, I will
Yeah.
come. Next year I'll come. I'll come next year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, okay, this is on camera, so you got to come next year, dude. It's either yes or no. You got to say right now. So yes or no, you got to shake. So you're coming now. Alright, so you're just committed to coming to...
Oh, okay, so what if I don't come?
Well, then you're a fucking bitch, because you're not a man of your word, are you? Because you just shook on it.
Mate, come on, I am a man of my word.
Well, then you better come next year, otherwise
Mate,
you're not.
I said I was pulling
We got
360.
that on camera. You're not a man of your word if you don't come next year now.
That's it, mate. Next time he goes to the Revo Fitness, mate, everyone's going to be like...
So if you're not... so like your dad says, I know if you're serious.
Yeah, true, fair
So
enough.
you just shook on it, so you're serious.
A handshake's pretty powerful, man.
So you need to have 5k, at least 5k.
Five.
You do, yeah? To come.
Okay, yep.
In Aussie dollars.
Yeah.
Not an American.
Not American dollars. Oh,
No, I should
Maybe,
get euros.
maybe a bit less. Maybe a bit less if you buy flights early enough. If we
that's
buy flights early
true.
enough.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck it, I'll go 10k. Because I have spending money.
Oh, yeah, true.
5k worth of spending money.
Cool.
So I don't have any issues with money.
Well, there you go. You come and dunk
And
out.
then, yeah, obviously we've got our own.
But what am I going to do with you guys? You know what I mean? I'm just going to be a roadie dude that
You
just...
can, yeah, but you can come and watch, or you can actually get a dunker ticket and you can come dunk and do like low room dunks and shit.
Oh, yeah.
There's low room dunking
Or I
competition.
could just lift.
You know, there's low room.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm tempted to do a low room dunking competition. What do you reckon? For fun.
Depends what day it is.
Huh?
But imagine it's on a Wednesday.
No, but the thing is, bro, I would fucking if I was to do like
Fuck
a fucking, but like, oh, fuck.
I hate contests, to be honest. I'm saying it.
Yeah, it's just measuring.
No one's wanting to do it this year.
The low
Everyone
room
just wants to
dunk.
have dunk sessions. No one wants to do the contest, man.
Oh really?
Like Travis, Nathan, they're like, nah, fuck that. Because they just want to have a dunk session. They don't want to do like 3 dunks, like warm up and do 3 dunks. And then
Yeah,
day.
dunk
That's-
sessions are better.
that's
Or
dead,
like
man.
a dunk show.
Shows, yeah.
Bro,
shows
you
are
need
good.
to get into the dunk show, the main dunk show.
Oh, let me just
Yeah.
do that real.
No, like ask Andy. No. Why don't you ask Andy what you need to do to get in that show?
I think how it works is he chooses the top 2 or 3 dunkers of the camp.
Ask him.
Yeah,
ask him what
I'll
you need
confirm
to
it
do.
with Andy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why don't you get into that?
Well, it's kind of obvious. Like you're the pro dunker. Of
That's a bit of a
right
cold
now.
question, Tom.
No, that's a dumbass question.
Just hit an answer then.
There's no such thing as a dumb question, but it was just an obvious question.
That's a dumbass question.
Well, both.
I need my like mouth at the rim, East Bay with ease, like 360 windmill. I need to do crazy shit to be in a dunk on.
Who knows what a D-Lo could do for you though?
I know D-Lo can make you into a monster.
D-Lo plus adrenaline, chest at rim.
Yeah, but stop being so
shit ton of-
stop being so humble, cunt.
A shit ton of
Okay.
caffeine.
Yeah,
There's being humble and then there's being an idiot.
it's being retarded.
Yeah. You know, it's like Giannis saying, "Oh, like, yeah, no, I'm not that good.
You're a
I'm not
Bucks
good."
guy.
It's like Giannis.
Sorry, you're a Bucks guy.
It's like Giannis saying.
No, I'm actually
It's
ignorant.
it's literally like Giannis saying, genuinely going, "Oh, I'm not actually that good at basketball."
Yeah, but
Like,
Giannis says that.
you're not being humble. You're being fucking an idiot at that point.
No, Giannis, I think,
You
does
know?
that because he always wants to feel like he's second. He always wants to feel like he's chasing somebody. Everyone else is going to see him as the best player on the planet, and he is the best player in the world, no doubt about that. But
Oh, that's a hot take.
because people,
That's fucking hot take right there.
how's that a hot take?
That is a hot take.
No, it's not.
That is a hot take.
No, it's not.
That is a hot take.
There's some people that do that to themselves.
No, there's a hot take saying he's the best in the world.
Oh, yes! How's that a hot take?
That,
What? That's wild, bro, to think that's a hot take. What the fuck,
that is
man?
a hot take.
That's wild to think that's a... Who's the best in the world?
But I
Can I say LeBron?
bro, I don't even know. I can't even give you the answer.
Okay, so
I don't
why the
think,
fuck are you saying it's a hot take if you can't give me an answer?
because there's like 5 people that you
I
can
don't
say
think
that
anyone
are.
stands out enough
No,
to
there's
say
not anyone that stands out.
Okay,
I
so
reckon
There's no
not.
Jordan.
No, best players in the world right now. Like, best player in the planet. Not Jordan, Kobe, all those guys. Like, I'm
Yeah.
talking right now in the world. It'd be Giannis, Jokic, Steph, KD, and probably Joel Embiid.
Bro, even I'm probably like biased as fuck, bro. But
You are biased as fuck.
I'm
You
biased
say
as
LeBron.
fuck. But I would put LeBron over KD. Like in the finals, I'd rather have LeBron on my team than KD.
Oh, yeah, of course. I'd say that. Yeah.
That's what I legit think of.
Yeah, but like, you know, fucking, we don't. The season just isn't the finals. Like, there's other 82 games as well in the regular season, and that still has to account for something.
Yeah, but like to an extent. To an extent.
Do you reckon LeBron's better than Giannis right now?
Who would I rather, like, I just think, who would I rather on my...
Right now.
That's tough, bro. That's tough, because I can go either way. That's actually a really tough question.
Nah, I'd go
I don't
Giannis.
Like, I could go either way. That's
right now.
He's got the experience, though.
Yeah, but he's 38.
He is.
Giannis is in his absolute...
But it's just like Giannis in the finals can't, like, fuck me, if he's got shoes around him, like, what do you do? Like, there's nothing you can do against... Like, bro, I remember watching Giannis win the chip, when was it?
2021.
Yeah, 2021. I was, like, laughing. I was legit laughing watching him play, because I'm like, fuck, there's nothing anyone can do.
Yeah, no one could guard him.
They're playing such good defense, just running through them still whenever he wants, taking to the rim.
Double triple team him.
Well, no, but even then, shoot up.
Yeah,
that's what I mean. If he's got shooters around him,
he's dangerous. Yeah.
But it's like at the same time, if LeBron has shooters around him, and then LeBron at the same time is hitting threes, the fuck you do?
Yeah, but what the fuck do you do about Giannis if he drops 50 and still has shooters around him getting hot?
Exactly.
That's unstoppable.
Exactly.
Who fucking beat that?
Look at Giannis, man.
Sorry?
So inspirational.
I know.
So inspirational.
That's tough. That's tough.
Nah, you gotta go Giannis. That defense that Giannis brings to the table is probably the best in the league at the moment. LeBron's not a good defender anymore. He's okay at best.
Yeah, that's just what happens. That's just what happens as you become fucking old. Like, you look at all the old men you play against in fucking rec leagues. All of them are shit at defense.
Nah, I know a few that are good at defense.
Yeah, the ones that prioritize it. Okay, so they either prioritize offense or defense.
Oh, Kip, he's a savage. I do. Just a walking Tim Duncan, man.
Yeah.
He's like a 6-foot Timmy.
Yeah.
Just bank shots.
Never would I have thought that he would get mentioned on the podcast.
Interesting question. What quantifies old man strength? Because it seems like as soon as you become a dad and the kid is born, you just fucking become way stronger.
Honestly, I reckon that comes down to physical preparation and just work capacity. I think a lot of these individuals that work manual labour jobs, they have to carry bricks, sandbags, all this shit for
it's
like 10 plus hours.
It's just grip strength, their forearm strength.
Upper back.
Because also strength is a bit of a skill, right? It's very different deadlifting 300 kilos versus wrestling someone.
Yeah, but the thing is as well, like these boys are carrying like 30 kilo sandbags.
I think it's kind of like, I think it's kind of like someone can squat 180 but can still jump shit, right? It's like someone can deadlift 300 but still not be as strong as someone that's a wrestler that can deadlift only 200.
Yeah.
Specific.
Yeah. I think that answers the question.
Yeah, and I think it just comes down to, as I said, physical preparation. Their job's physically prepared them for the gym.
Yeah.
That's why there's some boomers, 40 years old, that could probably pull the 3-player first day.
No, but it's just dads, bro. Like I remember being like fucking like really weight room strong playing basketball back in the day.
Yeah.
And fucking like core being held strong as well. Like I remember fucking versing like dads.
Yeah, and they
that fucking felt like brick walls.
Yeah. They just bully.
I'm like 6'4", like not weak, solid. You know?
Oh, they bully.
But even then, I think it's on the basketball court, it's a body weight thing too.
They have so much set up
I could be as strong as someone that's the same height and the same strength as me, right? But if they weigh 20 kilos more, I think I'm going to have a harder time against them because they're physically harder to move on the basketball court because I've got to move fucking more weight than them.
Because they weigh more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like what made Shaq so fucking dominant is the fact that he just was so fucking big and heavy, bro.
But Giannis is big and heavy as well, but he's agile and mobile.
Yeah.
So he's like Shaq on Trent.
Yeah.
Really, if you think about it. The guy has he's Shaquille O'Neal.
No, but I think Shaq would still body Giannis.
They
can't defend each other. It's one of those.
Nah, I agree. I think Giannis could still get a bag on Shaq.
He starts the
for different reasons.
Yeah, for different reasons.
But he would still dominate. He would still it'd be equal.
Because Shaq is a bigger human in terms of weight and mass than Giannis. Giannis is a bit more lengthy, right? So I think Shaq would still body Giannis a bit.
Oh, he would. But Shaq can't guard Giannis.
But it's like in B, bro.
Even in the block.
If B's got like that Shaq build, bro, but he just fucking falls over all the time.
He plays like Olajuwon, Embiid.
You know?
Like he plays like Hakeem Olajuwon. If you know Hakeem Olajuwon, Houston Rockets center, that dude used to be so nimble.
Like, have you noticed, like, every dunk Embiid hits, that's like a poster, he just falls over after, always.
Actually, that's a good point. I never thought about that. Unless that one on Russell
Which would actually save him from injury a bit, because it was probably to try to land some of those. It's probably fucking do an ankle or a knee or something, because there's mass coming down in that awkward sort of way. So him falling over probably is a good landing in those situations. At the same time, he still falls over.
I reckon one of the shittiest conversations right now in the basketball S&C world is athletic point guards in play styles. I can't fucking stand it. I just hate it.
Right.
I just think it's because like that's their play style. Like if you're going to try and alter and change it up from what they naturally play as a point guard, like Derrick Rose, Ja Morant, Russell Westbrook, and everything like that, and then say, oh, their play style is the reason why they cause injury. What the fuck are you expected to do? Fucking snatch back, pull up dribbles like Jason Tatum? No. If they've been manufactured for 10 plus years of their lives is to get the fuck at the rim, use those God-given athletic abilities, and get to that rim and get buckets there, then use the jump shot as a counter-attack once the rim's full. It just seems so silly and illogical.
Well, they can't play like a 6'8" guy because they're not 6'8".
Exactly.
Like the fuck?
Grow
Like,
5 inches.
Now, I'm not saying, like, obviously no one's saying don't develop a jump shot. No one's not saying that. Like, if you want to develop a jump shot, get a better jumper, that's good, because then it's going to elongate your career a little bit more. But you having a good jumper, because you're not going to be able to attack the rim as much unless you're LeBron. And Jordan, that's able to go to the rim pretty consistently. But even Jordan had to rely on his mid-ranges in that second three-peat.
Yep.
It was a very mid-range dominant game. If you've seen some of the shot charts where he shot, most of them 10 to 20 feet. Pull-ups, not even assisted. He had to fucking make his own shot in a very slow-paced era. That's impressive shit. And still shooting 50% from the field on just mid-range jumpers and what. That's remarkable. Same with Kevin Durant. That guy can get to the rim any day of the week. But he opposes his will and freaking shoots like all these mid-ranges.
Bro, you can't block his shot.
No, you can't.
He can shoot the ball whenever he wants.
Yeah, he could. He could.
He just jumps over you.
And do you know how many... I saw a stat the other day. Off the dribble jumpers, his this season alone, he averages 55% off the dribble jumpers. And that's on like a few hundred attempts a game this season.
Yeah.
That's remarkable stuff.
It's pretty good.
55% with an NBA basketball game, contested half court, with a crowd in you. That's ridiculous. That's undeniable stuff.
That's like Tom when he decides to shoot threes halfway through a dunk session.
Just
or at the start of the dunk session.
Just grabs it.
Anyways, I think we need to end the podcast there because it's been fucking 2 hours.
I know, it's over. That's crazy, man. Far
Podcast
out.
PR, baby.
We did call this. I called this.
Oh, yeah.
I called this. I said this was going to be a legendary
We're
episode.
gonna have to get you back.
Part 2, baby.
We're gonna have to get you back.
Yeah, but we got this thing called life at this point that we have to...
There's a lot of topics, I think, especially in strength and conditioning, where we can cover.
Yeah, but he didn't really talk about
Which people
SSC
find-
that much, to be honest.
Bro, we talked about Avatar for like 10
He
minutes.
talked about Jake
Yeah,
Sully,
so that's
mate.
where we need to get you back. Probably not next week, the week after, to talk more about S&C, and we'll have topics for the next.
That's probably a better
podcast.
idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%. Because we just
around
got...
S&C.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I think we could definitely talk about SSC a little bit more.
yeah.
We talked about movies,
There's
we talked about death, we talked about all kinds of random
I
stuff.
think people will still enjoy
Yeah,
it.
people won't care, man.
No, they won't. No.
Anyways, yeah. Alright, so if you guys are looking for training, alright, send us a message on Instagram, send us a message podcast, and we'll get you sorted from there. But yeah, without further ado, we'll catch you guys in the next podcast where hopefully we'll have your dad on.
Yes, sir.
Alright,
Yeah.
Mr. Chris Barnes.
Yeah.
50-year-old dunker. Alright. So yeah, peace out guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye.
See you guys.